This VOD review started. We've got the Philadelphia Fusion against the Atlanta Reign here. This match went all the way to map 5, and that was a big reason why that was because the Reign attempted to play a Tracer strat. Philly Fusion were able to counter that strat almost completely, and we'll be looking at like why and how they were able to do that, and how this match went out in its entirety. So let's get started here. I'll try to not, sit too long on all of these matches. Right here, you see the Philly comp. It's just a rush comp, right? We see a lot of Lucio, specifically on King of the Hill, because he's so good at getting your team there early. And you already see it right here, right? Philly's playing Lucio, and all of Philly is there first, while Atlanta's not even outside of the window yet. So Philly get to choose where they pick this first fight. They kind of get defender's advantage without being on defense, really. And the rest of their comp is the Torbjorn. It's a very interesting pick, but Torbjorn kind of is an all-rounder kind of pick, right? He does spam very well, and he fights flankers really well, right? So if Edison was on Tracer right now, Torbjorn would be great, while a pick like Hanzo or Kree wouldn't be as good. Kree is still pretty good against the Tracer. But overall, Torb is just so sturdy, and him having some armor and 250 HP, really good for Torbjorn. Hello, Manuel. We've just gotten started with this VOD review. And then on the Reign side, we've got a more spammy comp, right? They've got the Sigma instead of the Reinhardt, and they've got the Brigitte instead of the Lucio. And they've also got 2 high damage long range hit scans, right? Or Hanzo is a projectile character, but long range spam characters. And then the interesting thing here is that they're not playing Lucio, so they're going to be pretty late. And it's also interesting because normally you would pick the Brig when they're also playing Tracer, right? And they're going to do this later on, but I'm confused as to why they're playing the Brig with this specific composition. Leg Day Gaming is rating you with 65 others. You couldn't have come in at a better time. We have just started this VOD review, so I can easily start over you guys and welcome everybody. And I hope you had a great stream with the lowlight stuff. Yeah, we were just going over first map, just starting out, ready for the VOD review of why the Reign, with their Tracer strat most of the time, weren't able to do as well as they did in scrims against this Philly Fusion comp, right? And first thing we already went over is Reign is playing a spam comp, but instead of Zenyatta, they're playing Brigitte, which is really weird, right? And then Fusion is playing a more standard rush comp. So welcome everybody that came for the raid. I really appreciate it, like they. And yeah, we'll get this VOD rolling, and I hope you guys had fun with the lowlights. Okay. So Reign go top. You kind of have to go top, because if they go bottom here, Philly could just speed boost on them and roll them over. So they're setting up on the high ground over here. Edison specifically is on an off angle, just because he has this lunge ability, so he could jump out if the pull comes out, right? He's still using it on high ground. So we'll see how the Reign play this out, right? But because the Reign don't have a Lucio, they give up positioning. And yes, Masa Brig, and I think Masa's really good at Brig. But I don't think the Brig is that great here, because who's he gonna armor and why? Quality options unlocked? Not sure what you mean with that, but I have the best quality. So yeah, they're just sitting up top. Both teams are kind of waiting till point unlocks, because if Reign just drops now, they're just gonna get sped on. They're gonna lose, right? While if they wait and some of Philly has to go cap point, then they can walk out for free, right? So it's kind of a stall fest right now. Pool comes out for Fury, but as I said, Edison can lunge out, right? And now, because Philly caps point with 2 people, Reign drops, right? So fairly standard stuff so far. The only interesting thing, right, is that the Rain aren't playing a Mei character here. Normally, if you're against Reinhardt especially, you want the Mei, because the Mei stops the Rein from swinging. So unless a Rain can put so much damage on Sato's shield that he can't swing, right, not playing a Mei might not be the best in this matchup. But, as you see here, Sato's shield went to 1 HP, so he had to back out. Now, they're going to go sit on point, right? They have the point, so this is good for Philly so far, and this is that Lucio advantage that they have. They're going to speed up top. They're going to go on Gator. This is pretty smart from the Rain, though. They have all the high ground in the world, right? And Gator has his Fortify ability. So if he gets sped on, he can be okay, right? He used his Fortify here pretty early, though. And now Fusion is using the Pull, Fire Strike, and Baptiste ult combo. So this is a combo you'll see a lot from these two characters specifically. And that's why these two characters were played so much this week. Because you have to remember that D.Va was banned this week. So it's very hard to eat this combo. You can only really block it with a Mei wall, or you can Sig, or you can Baptiste drone it right by Dogman, or Hawk could eat it with a shift. So we're gonna see if they're able to counter it here. Okay, so Hawk kind of dropped in. He was able to shift the combo. And they're still doing okay. Babyface taking an off angle here, so this is good for the Rain. Baby ends up dying. I guess he gets pulled. Yeah, he gets pulled from really far away. Pull, Fire Strike, again, a really strong combo. Man. Masa ends up dying after that. Yeah, Masa's trying to be really close, right? But Brig is not old Brig right now. Brig is not Goat's Brig. And if you look at Masa's ult charge too, he hasn't been able to farm a lot. Brig is really squishy right now. And he gets sped on very easily. So, the Brig really has to watch out here. And as you can see here, Masa's trying to do a little too much. And he just gets ran over. But he kind of has to do something, right? Because Philly's in control of the point still. So this is not looking too good for the Rain, and they weren't able to like kite the Rain comp enough. And I do think that maybe instead of the Brig here, you could be playing something else, right? You could be playing the Lucio or the Zenyatta, which would fit the comp more. But normally they're playing the Tracer, Edison's on Tracer, so then it makes a lot more sense, right? We continue. And I'll answer all the chat questions, guys, after the round. We'll have a sit down real quick. But I don't want to lose my train of thought while we're actually going. So, on the retake here, the Rain have 5 ultimates now. Masa's been getting bullied, so he doesn't have any ult charge yet, basically. And Philly on the defense, they have a bunch of ults, right? They have to beat, which is a really good ult. They have Mei ult, and they almost have another Baptiste ult. So you see how fast you farm that ultimate. Alarm's basically almost out. Like, had 2 ultimates in the time Dogman's had 1. Because he gets to heal these tanks so much, right? And the Rain comp is more of a spam comp, so they're going to put out some more damage. Especially onto Sato. But as long as Sato can live, they're good, right? Again, Philly holding really close. They are a rush comp, so they should be close. Rain push out with the bongo. Generally, this is really smart, right? Because on retakes, the enemy team has position advantage on you. So you have to use your ultimates to get out of chokes like this. Because otherwise, what Sato's just going to do is he's going to stand here and swing whoever comes out, right? So Gator using the bongo early. One of the better ultimates in the game. It's really smart. Edison pops his ult too. And the bongo instantly dies. So Philly do a really good job of killing that bongo very fast. and maybe Gator could have placed it a little more back, but then it wouldn't have had LOS on anybody dropping, right? So good beat from Funny Astro to counter engage the ultimates from the Rain here. Now more Rain ultimates come out. Masa ends up dying because again Brig is very squishy, especially against Reinhardt. I feel like Reinhardt shits on Brig very hard. Baby ends up killing 2, but still they just can't get out. Oh, Hawk used his ultimate to get high ground on the enemy team. That's very smart. Let's watch his POV real quick. Might be too little too late, but still, this is how you always want to use your Sigma ult, right? You want to get a big beefy ult on as many people as possible, but as a secondary use of the ultimate, especially with the horizontal movement buff that they gave to Sigma's ult, you want to land on a high ground. So Hawk does a really good job here, right? Putting himself in a super safe position where he can do a lot to the enemy team. Okay, Baby ends up killing 2, but still, they're not out of the choke yet. Hawk spamming from behind now, though. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, the front line for Fusion is so much stronger right here. Like, as you can see, the Brig pick just isn't doing a lot for the Rain right now. Finally, Edison swaps over to the Tracer, so this makes a lot more sense, right? The Tracer with the Brig, because then you can armor the Tracer, and he can go for very, very aggressive duels. 50 armor on a Tracer that normally has 150 health is incredibly strong. As the walkout happens, though, Dogman dies, so let's see how that happens. So they're gonna go high ground again. They could go here again, but if Sato just holds close, it's very rough. And going main is just a death sentence, right? Like, this is so open, you're just gonna get walled off and then they're gonna speed on you. So the high ground makes most sense. Maybe Edison can go force point here while walking out, and then I guess the pull fire strike again, I think is really smart. The way Alarm does it too, he puts his Baptiste ult where the fire strike is gonna land instead of putting it in front of his team where it's coming from, right? So it's like an extra surprise factor. Oh, we went a little too far back, but that's okay. Watch this thing over. And then I just want to see the pull fire strike combo here that they do. So yeah, they throw out the pull. The counter pull comes in too, right? Sato throws out the fire strike at the same time. And then as the fire strike goes out, Alarm puts the matrix, the amplification matrix right in front of the enemy team. And then boom. He gets both Dogman and Baby Bay. So insane combo there. I think if Dogman expects that to come in, he needs to drone his team. So that they live. But yeah, now they're 2 down. Very low chance here for Atlanta to win. Gonna finish this round up, then we'll answer some chat questions. Okay. And they do end up capping that. And you see Philly still had a ton of ults to use here. I feel like especially the Brig pick without the Tracer isn't good. Thank you for the follows, guys. Okay, let me read chat here. Fukasaurus. Yeah. Oh no, the Masa Brig. PogU quality options unlocked. Masa carrying just bad team. Rain isn't bad. Not about the player, it's about the pick. Like, if they weren't on Brig, except for map 5, they could well win series. I mean, it was a strategy that the team talked about, right? It's not like it's Masa choice to only play Brig. They've scrimmed with this comp, and it worked. So why expect that it's not going to work in the match? Looking good today, thank you very much. There's no D.Va to eat the orbs. Moira, I thought Moira would be played all the time this week. I mean, Moira is really good if you're playing like super hard rush. But teams tend to like kite that super rush comp, and then they have more shield damage, so they win in the long run, right? So Moira is good, but not good enough. Especially like Bap ult's really good too, right? When there's no D.Va matrix. isn't Tracer very bad against the Philly comp? I mean, yeah, Tracer might not be the best pick, but remember how Decay fucked who was it? Like Valiant in their game, and he popped off against the Torb. I think Atlanta might know, hey, we're at a little bit of a disadvantage here, but Edison is one of the best tracers in the league right now, so let's have him fuck, you know? Also, if it worked in scrims against Torb, why would it not work in a match? Baby said they lost first two by sticking to this thing that they practiced super hard in his personal stream. Yeah, that makes sense. I think Mei is OP. So if you're not playing Mei, especially like on a cough map, right, where it's so small and these chokes are like really early, where Mei can wall everybody up, I think that's not a smart move. I think the best teams are the teams that play Mei really well right now. Okay, just hard carried when they won. That's true. Okay. Anyway, we go second map. I think the Brig is okay if you're playing the Tracer. It's just not good on its own. What do you think Mei is post nerf? I still think she's very, very good. I think Mei is like the only thing that stops Reinhardt in this game right now. I guess Reinhardt's nerfed now. I'm not sure if that's on AO yet. But the problem is once a Reinhardt gets to your Orisa, you can't get him off unless you Mei freeze him. Like there's not really anything else that gets him off. Crab ball. Hey Cass, can you react to this please? This is crab ball art. Crab ball roster reveal. Oh god, it's a 2-minute long video. I'll react to that at the end of the stream. That's okay, Nathan. What do you think is the best comp with Echo? I think dive comp, but the specific dive comp, I'm not sure yet. Anyway, we continue. Like, I think Hammond D.Va or Winston Hammond or Winston D.Va, you know, and then with like a Tracer or a Sombra or something like that. I think Mercy's pretty good with Echo, but maybe you don't even play the Mercy. I wasn't on the new patch with the Ashe buffs and Mei nerfs last week. Don't know if they will be next week. Monkey ball, please. That's a fun comp. I just think D.Va's so versatile, you know? Like, she's good against everything. Monkey's not good against everything. Okay. Anyway. Map 2. We have, again, the Rain comp, this time with the Tracer. So the Brig makes a lot more sense. I still think the error here is that because you don't have Lucio, the enemy team gets to roll out to your side so fast. To resolve this, I think the Rain go out the right side. So this kind of resolves that problem, right? It's pretty smart. I just feel like in the head-to-head, right? This fusion comp is always going to win. So it's up to Edison to make really big plays and make a lot of stuff happen. Because he's going to get... Basically, it's a fair mercy, right? Is the way you have to look at it, in my opinion. Like, the Brig Tracer is kind of like a fair mercy combo, where, you know, because you've picked the Pharah now has to be pocketed by the Mercy, so the Pharah has to do enough for, like, 1.5 person or 2 persons, you know? Because the Mercy has to, like, sit with him so much. It's the same for Brig, where, because you're picking Brig, your Tracer has to do more, because the Tracer's getting so many resources. So it's up to Edison to basically do the work of 1.5 person or 2 people, while the Philly comp, you know, if they can just sit back, shoot the enemy shield maybe, or get close to the enemy Orisa and Sigma, they win the brawl. They win the close fight. So we'll see how that plays out, especially on this map. This is actually a pretty good Tracer map, right? There's a lot of flank angles. It's very big. It's very open. Okay. So Atlanta get to the other high ground. This is a smart rollout, right? Just make sure that the Rein can't swing on them, and the Rein just has to shield up. And Edison comes from behind here. You can't get armor right now, but I imagine that when he gets a little low, he'll just blink to his team, get armor, that kind of stuff, right? So he blinks in. He's gonna try and force cooldowns. Instead, his recall gets forced instantly, which isn't great, right? Because now he has to play a little safer. Then, while that's going on, the Rain also get walled by Ivy, so good wall from him. Continue. Okay, so the Philly Fusion speed over, right? Because they've hit that wall. And what's very interesting is Carpe is now on the flank, right? He's behind the enemy team, trying to get an angle. Also interesting that I guess he tried to throw the turret up there and it failed. Why the turret's down here? This is interesting turret position right there. But Carpe's on the flank. He's coming from behind, and Sato's coming from the front. Now Sato's probably lost a lot of shield. I doubt he can go too deep. Babyface on the other high ground. So Rain is actually getting like really good angles right now on the Philly Fusion. Like if you look at like all the positions from the Rain, it's very good. They have Edison who's over here, and Babybay notably has found himself on like the other high ground, so he could go over here and like shoot away, right, where there's no cover on the enemy team. So as long as Gator can kind of beat a bait, it's very good for the Rain. Also, they get pulled off, so really nice pull from Gator actually. Yeah, and Edison's able to like finish off the kill. Who did so much damage to the Reinhardt? Philly might have like went a little too fast, you know? Okay, yeah, his shield just got broken and then he died after. So this is like a really far high ground, right? Like from here to here. That's really far to walk like that. And there's no cover anywhere. So all this way, Sato's shield was getting spammed. And eventually it just broke. Even though Ivy got a nice wall. Maybe they should have played it a little bit slower there. I guess because Carpe was behind the enemy team. They wanted to go faster. But didn't work out. And Rain should win the really long fights, right? Because they have more spam. Yeah, that was a good fight for the Rain. And now you see like, hey, Edison's doing a lot. He's already at 84% ult because Masa keeps giving him armor, right? Strong combo. Not sure why they played the break earlier with the Kree Hanzo, but with the Tracer it makes a lot of sense, you know? Oh, nice pull there from Philly actually, who keep doing this pull fire strike combo. And you see how low Babybay went? He went to like 1 HP. Yeah. That should give Philly a lot of space. They're still getting spammed. Oh, the pull spam combos. This is another combo that the Rain can pull out, right? They can use their pull plus their pulse bomb. And then the pulse bomb damage is AoE, right? So it's like Grav pulse bomb. And it forces actually a lot of cooldowns here from Philly. They force drone, which has a 25-second cooldown, and they force ice block. And it also breaks Sato's shield. A really nice use there. Oh, it also forces Carpe's E too. But Edison does end up dying. So a little mistake there, I think. Oh, he doesn't have recall yet. He's 3 second, 2 second, 1 second. Yeah, he must have thought he had recall. That was so unlucky. He almost had it. But now Philly can probably just wait for their right shield and then they can walk up. But this is actually a really good point for this one flanker, one spammer comp, right? Because there's so much room to kite for the Rain. Like, if you look at all this space, it's all good for the Rain's characters. And they can just kind of kite. You see Hawk over here with Gator in the back. And if they push Hawk, Hawk's just going to run away, right? And then Gator can step in front and like be a bait. And while that's going on, Babybay can spam them all the way, right? But this is like a good point for this kind of composition. Because there's not as many chokes for the Mei. Like the Mei's really good if you have to retake, like out of here or out of here. But if that happens, then Edison can go point. And then the Philly kind of have to give up the choke or send one guy to go deal with the Tracer. So it's a good comp on this point. Okay, Hawk ults. Goes in the air. Doesn't end up. I guess he. Did they get the Orisa off the Hawk ult? Oh, he just gets the Ryan, but he also gets the Orisa Fortify, and that's like a big deal, right? Like that. The fact that Fusion now have to go sit here and wait for their shield and their cooldowns is a really big deal. Because they want to be moving into the rain. But as I said, this map's very long, so once the rain have control, that's really hard. Now, Baby Bay ults. Not sure where he's ulting from. He's ulting from the back. They try to wall it, but I think Ivy Wisp wall. So yeah, good counter to Creote, right? He's putting that wall right in front of him. Kind of messed up. Yeah. And then they also come out with the Baptiste ult. So Philly's kind of stewed here. But Atlanta did have to use 2 ults. So not the end of the world. It's mostly like winning first fight gives you such good positioning on basically every map. Like winning first fight is such a big deal, especially on a map like this where there's only 2 retakes and the map is so massive, right? So the rain get all this space. Well, normally, right, the map is like kind of 50-50 when it's first fight. But when the rain gets so much space to kite, the retake becomes very hard for Philly because they kind of have to get close to make their composition work. Okay. Okay, so Edison again has the armor, goes for the fight onto Alarm. And he's doing quite a bit, you know? He's like making Alarm look at him. And now he's also made... Oh, he hasn't made Alarm use the drone yet. But I expect... Oh, he just kills Alarm. Huh. I think Funny Astro is the one that needs to like look behind. I try to deal with Edison when he's on Alarm like this. But he's speeding in right now. Edison just solos him. Because the thing is, if he uses the Baptiste ult here, they won't have it for things like Tracer Ball Spawn, right? So he really doesn't want to like get it baited out. Because you have to look at Baptiste drone kind of like a support ultimate. It has a 25-second cooldown, but it's incredibly high impact. But here, obviously, if he's just going to die, he's got to use it. Maybe Astro can like speed his team in and then look a bit more behind and deal with Edison. Unsure. But that's where the Tracer comp's strong, right? If the Tracer can just sit on your supports, it becomes quite hard for them to do a lot. And then he also sticky bombs Carpe. So he's doing a lot this map. Ivy's over here. Also fighting Edison now. And Masa's just pocketing him. Masa's just giving Edison all the armor packs. Okay. And he also kills Ivy, right? So Edison is doing big play this map, right? But he kind of needs to for this comp to work, I think. But that was very nice. And this map has such long rotations that the rain comp worked very well, right? But on the last map, you saw how close it was. And especially if you lose the first fight, it becomes really hard. Okay. If we have more questions. I'll try to, like, between rounds, answer all the chat questions. I wasn't on the new patch with the buffs and Mei nerfs last week. Don't know if they will be tomorrow. Me neither. I don't think so. Money Monkey Ball, please. Would Orisa Ball Tracer be viable? I think Orisa, Ball Tracer, Brig is really viable as long as the enemy team is no Mei and a Sombra. But I think Mei and Sombra shit on Hammond like really hard. So I think that comp is pretty good. But once there's a Hammond on the enemy team, it becomes very hard in my opinion. Or once there's a Sombra or a Mei on the enemy team, your Ball can't do enough, I feel. So no, I don't think that's good enough. Then your front line gets rolled over even harder, you know? Like your Orisa gets rolled over even harder. He doesn't have the extra shield. So as I gotta go, my wife is back with the surprise food for our 4th wedding anniversary. I clutched it on YouTube. Have fun. Have a great anniversary, GoBot, and thank you for checking in. I hope you have a great day, I guess, because it's still in America there. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. That's super sweet. I will try to upload the VOD in like 1 day or 2 days. But yes, thank you for joining in and have fun. That is very sweet. Okay, so again, 3rd map, and interestingly, I think this is pretty smart from the Fusion. They have said, hey, Edison is killing Alarm, he's forcing all his cooldowns, let's just play the Moira and go into the enemy team harder, right? Because Moira doesn't really need the help as much, and especially when you throw the Moira over forward, you can kind of walk with it and out heal the enemy Tracer. So I really like the Moira pick here. It's a very smart adaptation. And then Carpe is also going Tracer. I guess Tracer's just really good on this map where Widowmaker and other picks are picked a lot, and she can kind of force out the Widowmaker. Note, this time Masa is on the Baptiste. So this is like, now the Tracer isn't as good in my opinion because there's no Brigitte, but there's no Brigitte for both teams. As long as you need it, and thank you for the kind words. No problem. Have a very nice evening. We continue. Okay. So again, still go for Fusion now even more, right? They have kind of like doubled down on their rush. Even more, like because they have the Moira now, they kind of have to get to the enemy tank line and slap on them, right? And then with the Tracer pick, Tracer is either going to be dueling the enemy Tracer, or Carpe is going to try to find an angle on the enemy Zenyatta or Baptiste, right? Just like Edison was kind of doing earlier. So yeah, right now he's dueling the enemy Tracer. Both Tracers get their recalls forced out. They have to play safer because of it. And Philly is waiting for the point to unlock. Because there's not much point in going here for the Philly because there's so much spam there, right? So they were rotating around looking for picks. And now likely they are going to go to point. Oh. But Baby Bait came out late from spawn. Okay, so let's watch this roll. This is really interesting. Yeah, he's just kind of waiting. So he rolls out. He hears from his team, hey, Philly's rotating over here. Okay. So Baby Bait kind of plays it slow. Biding his time, waiting for them to go to point, right? Because the point's going to unlock. And then once point unlocks, he peeks out. So this was really smart, actually, from Baby Bait. And a good move. He clicks ahead. And he's so free. Because Carpe was fighting Edison, right? So he can't go on Baby Bait while also fighting Edison. Now Carpe goes on Baby Bait. Almost gets him, but with the pick already gotten there. Really good for Baby Bait. And now Philly kind of have to wait. I think Fury died, right? Yeah. Kind of have to wait for Fury. I guess they can't really wait because if you just wait there, you're gonna lose the fight. So they'll probably still make a play, but oh, they're gonna rotate back. They are going to wait for Fury, which is probably the way to go. Funny Astro got him from spawn. Oh, and Fury swaps over to the Hammond. So again, I think Hammond is really strong. when there's no Sombra or Mei in the game, because they counter Hammond very hard. Mei, especially with the chain freezes right on the Hammond, and Sombra with the hack, just shut him down very hard. But as you can see, there's not too much to see on the Rain. There's only the Hawk Rock, which is really hard to hit on a rolling Hammond, right? And there's the pull, which is pretty good to hit on the Hammond, but you'd rather use it for other people, right? So you can pull people into the Baby Bay headshots and stuff. And support line is no CC at all. So actually, Hammond pick here is really smart from Fury. Love to see that. Because it's not like an ordinary pick, you know, for a off tank. But here it's really smart. Like a Ryan Hammond, who thought of that comp? But just the Hammond as a counter pick, smart. Oh, so yeah, the Hammond rolls up, no CC. I think it's 50 damage from the ball damage, or 30, not entirely sure. And then the slam comes down too. Moss has to use the drone, right? So Hammond already doing a lot here, and I love the swap here from Fury, because you see that he's just taking the support's attention. Yeah. Again, yeah, he even kills Dogman there. Okay, let's see what's going on the other side of the fight, right? We're only looking at this right now, but Baby actually died really early on in that fight. So he also got knocked by the Hammond, I guess. Yeah, generally, you want the Widowmaker on an off angle, right? Like Baby normally would be on an off angle, but he also saw Hammond. And if the enemy team is playing Hammond and Tracer, you can't really be on an off angle because you're just gonna get soloed, right? Like they're gonna find an angle on you, and you like grappling away against Hammond isn't that reliable. So Baby was trying to play with the team, but then Carpe comes behind him, ends his life. And yeah, then the whole support thing happens. While that's going on though, Edison, he finds Alarm. And the whole Philly front line is mashing up on Gator, right? A really smart swap to the Hammond actually enabled that whole fight for Philly, I feel. It's interesting if like Baby or Edison is going to swap to Sombra or Mei right now. Oh, wait, the Rain might still be able to win this fight. Everybody's low. Edison's clutching. Did we speak too soon? Maybe not. Okay. Fury did so much that fight. Holy crap. A Hammond pick, dude. Very smart. Baby ends up swapping a Kree, which Kree has his flashbang, right? So pretty good against Hammond, especially if you can flashbang and then discord him. You can do a lot against him. He's considering swapping. No, maybe not. He's just looking for heals. Gator Hawk are back on the point now. Hawk didn't die at the end of that, so that was smart. And yeah, let's see here. Rain have both support ultimates and the Sigma ult. So this ult bank is looking really good for the Rain. They also almost have Orisa ultimate, while Fusion have Beat, very, very good ult, right? They have the Moira ult, and they have Pulse Bomb, and they almost have the Mei ult. So Mei ult's really good too. This is kind of even ult situation, I feel. If Fusion could do a lot with the Moira ult here, that's really smart, right? Because starting the fight with Moira ult, it forces a lot of cooldowns out of the enemy team, and it allows you to kind of rush the front line from the enemy team over. And because Rain's in a retake position, they have to go and touch the point. Yeah, that's up to Gator. So yeah. The Sigma ult comes out for Hawk. Only hits Sato. I guess he hits Sato. Yeah, he only hits Sato. That's good. From the Fusion, they also hit the Beat on that. The Trance and the Baptiste ult are forced out by the Moira ult, I guess. Mostly the Transcendence. So good Transcendence. And then Fury gets killed going into the backline because, as I said, that Discord plus Flashbang does a number. And then Ivy comes out with the mail, but I guess they were trying to like slam mail. And they completely miss. This fight's looking really good for the Rain. Yeah. As I said, like if the fights don't end quickly for the Fusion, it's not great. But anyway, Fury went for a little too aggressive slam maybe, and Ivy like whiffed the mail. I guess they were trying to like really combo the Sigma slam plus the mail, but Fury wasn't even able to get his slam off, so he must have messed something up as the hammer. We actually go back and look at that from his perspective. Okay. Oh yeah, so he gets stunned mid roll. So he's trying to roll up, then slam, and then the mailed would come in. But he got stunned by the McCree. So nice stun from Baby Bay. Yeah. At this point, right, if you look at this, the fight's looking really bad for Rain, even though Gator dies. Okay. A lot of ults used for both teams there. Yeah. Okay, so again, really have to get to the enemy team's front line to do more, right? They're very close range comp, and Carpe decides to swap off the Tracer to the Torbjorn, probably because Baby Bay swapped from Widow, right? So kind of like Widow can hunt down, or Tracer can hunt down Widow, but Tracer really can't hunt down McCree, right? Especially when the McCree's playing close to his team. And Fury swapped over to the Orisa as well. Likely also because the Widow was swapped, right? McCree kind of counters the ball a little more. Oh, wow. So, wait, okay, so let's see what happens, because Alarm and Edison instantly die in the fight. So Edison's trying to go for Carpe. Carpe 1 HP, uses the E. He used the... Carpe's a genius. Look at this chat. Carpe's too big brain for us. Okay, so he goes low, right? Has the E. He gets chugged so hard, so you think he's gonna die. And then he throws down the Torb turret. Edison blinks to his side. And then he uses the turret to body block for himself. And then the turret takes damage instead of him. And Carpe's gonna live. And then forces the recall. And then the help comes in. And Carpe lives. So the body block with the turret. That's some massive brain stuff right here. That's a promoted turret. We're giving that a signal of approval. Sigil of approval. English hard. Okay, so let's see what happens to Alarm actually, because he just walks in with his team. How does Baby Bay kill him? Oh, he tries to help Carpe, and then Baby Bay one headshot, another shot. You get shattered. Nice shatter there actually from Sato. But yeah, 1 for 2 right now, and actually both DPS for the Rain had their ults, right? Maybe they could have used the Creole right when Philly ran in. They decided not to, and both of them are dead right now. So the people that would want to ult here are dead. So this is like really bad for the Rain, right? Like their playmaking ults are gone. Both their DPS are dead, even though the main healing's gone from Philly. They still have a lot of shields. So they run in. Nice wall there from Ivy. They end up getting Hawk. Dogma was actually able to do quite a bit from an off angle, but with both your DPS dead, it becomes very rough. Okay. But the Rain are at 99% right now. So it's looking pretty good for them. They have Sigma ultimate, they nearly have both support ultimates, and they have both DPS ultimates. while Fusion have Lucio ult, Moira ult, and almost Mei ult. But still, Rain have a really sizable ult bank here. You missed that bait from Philly on the engagement? What bait? Did I miss a bait? Am I a bot? Oh, okay, so they went kind of like fake that they were going left side, and then they went right side, and Carpe went left side. So I feel like Rain was kind of ready for it. Baited Gator to use his shield in the wrong position. That makes sense, yeah. Good job from them to like not to like, you know, kind of make it guesswork where they're gonna go and not like all five just walking out somewhere and kind of faking. Because most of the time teams go here, right? But it makes a lot of sense for Philly to go here because it's closer. But yeah, this shield is pretty killable, though the Fusion don't have too much shield damage, so not too big of a deal. Good spot there. So we end up winning this fight. Dogman ends up dying. But defensive position is very good for Philly, right? Because if you look at all these chokes that the Rain can take, there's this one, and then there's the one on the left, and there's the one on the right side. But all of these are very wallable, right? Like with the Mei. I don't feel you'd want to drop down here as the Rain, because then the enemy team can just speed onto you instantly. Going here is risky. Going left side might be your best bet, right? Because it's still wallable, but it's pretty big open. And then right side is pretty bad. So what the Rain could do one of two things, right? They could either do a split, which is pretty risky, but they're obviously gonna send the Tracer onto a different spot, or they could try to bait with Gator and then kill the like wall instantly, right? And get him out. But we'll see what they do here. They go main for now. Fire Strike's already used actually, so the pull, oh nearly, yeah, pull barely doesn't get Gator and Baby. But that was risky. But they gave Masa and Dogman, oh, gave Masa ult. Maybe not Dogman. I guess they're just farming. Oh, I think they're just trying to farm their ults, and then because they're trying to farm the Zen ult, right? Because it's 80%, it's almost last fight, so maybe they're just trying to play it slow, farm the Zen ult. But then Hawk gets pulled, the wall comes out, Edison comes in from behind, sticks Fury. Fury stands still. That does allow the Rain to like kill the wall though. Oh, they killed the wall and they put down the Baptiste ult. So good job on them. Hawk comes in with his own ultimate. Gets Fury, whose shift was just forced out, I imagine. Yeah, his shift was forced out by the pulse bomb. So really good cooldown. Like they baited out the fortify from Fury, and with the pulse bomb, and then Hawk knew that, so he went for Fury with his ult. That's really smart. I don't think Funny Astro had his ult yet. Go back a little bit. Yeah, he just barely didn't have it. That's rough. Yeah, he's 99. Oh, he just barely doesn't get it. The Cole comes out, but the Beat then comes out. Ivy also uses his ult, so Philly have a lot of ults here. Transcendence comes out for Dogman. This fight's played pretty well for the Rain so far. They've got Fury so far. Baby uses ult, doesn't get anything. Baby goes really close and really low. Carpe ends up killing him. Oh, while Ivy also dies to Dogman, so Dogman's fragging out. This fight's hectic, dude. Fight's so mega hectic. Dogman kills Ivy. He goes for Funny Astro, kills him too. He dies. Carpe kills 3 people. Carpe's killing everyone. This man's a madman. Wait, Carpe just killed everybody. We're going back. He's at like so long range too. Carpe on the flank. He hits Edison. Nice hit there. Hits Edison again. Kills Baby Bay. He doesn't miss. He kills Dogman. Because Fury boops him into it. Fury, by the way, came back on ball. He kills Masa. Then he also goes and kills Sada. Oh. Dude, Carpe popped off this fight. And then Rain. I don't get this swap. They swap to Brig, and then they swap off the Tracer to Mei, and they all have to go contest. Why don't they stay on the Tracer, go Lucio, go a faster character like Doomfist? I don't know. Anyway, it's 10%. So they might not even be able to touch, so I'm just nitpicking, but Babe comes back. Gator's gonna go touch. Babe, nice touch. Or Gator, nice touch. Then the wall comes out for Edison. But they're not gonna win the close fight, right? Because, well, this is like the close fight champion comp. They have the Moira and the Lucio. Gator comes out onto Hawk, who tries to shield it, but shield's in the air. Oh, Sato, though, gets stunned by Masa, almost dies. But yeah, they have to like stagger in, and it's so rough. That was not a proper fight. Arpa had his ult too. So really close first map actually, and I think that first comp from the Rain didn't make too much sense with the Brig, Hanzo, Kree. I guess they're like trying to allow the Kree to do a little more, but maybe if they go Tracer Brig there, it makes more sense, or just like Mei Kree or Mei Hanzo, you know, would make the most sense. But I feel like especially King of the Hill maps are really strong for Lucio. You get such positional advantage from just having the Lucio. Okay, let me read chat real quick. I have been kidnapped by a person called Chicken Tendies. Are they coming back for the, what's it called, for the Echo tournament? Oh, that's map 3. That's the wrong map. That's the wrong map. Oh, I haven't read this question yet. Would you say that Sig over Rein on maps with a lot of high ground and Rein over Sigs on flat maps? I don't think that's necessarily it. I think Sig and Rein just have a different playstyle, right? But I do think that on Koth maps, the Rein is really strong because you get such positional advantage from having the Lucio. And you can't really play Lucio when you're playing spam. So then the Rein makes a lot of sense, right? But on a map like this, where there's so much kiteability, high grounds, I think the Sig is really good, right? I even saw Shanghai Dragons run Rein Sigma on maps like this, and I thought it was pretty strong. Okay, we shall continue. So Philly and Rain, now both playing spam, right? Philly playing full spam, and the Rain is playing the hybrid spam with the Brig Tracer teched in. I think this is a very interesting matchup. Also interesting that Philly are kind of committing to the spam because they're putting Boombox in. And, well, Boombox probably can't play Lucio as well as Funny Astro. But he's probably a better Baptiste. Otherwise, they wouldn't put him in, right? Yeah, let's see what happens. Philly rotate high ground. Rain give it up, right? Carpe instantly gets pulled and pushed to 1 HP. He lives, though. Nice pull there from Gator. And yeah, you'll kind of see like the Shield War pop out. But Rain is actually really bad at the Shield War. Hello, Muzoka. Muzoka, I saw your question on Twitter about Echo, and I didn't really understand it. Because you asked something like, do you think Echo is strong? Or do you think she's just strong compared to other characters? And that's the same thing, right? Like, a character being strong means she's better than other characters. But yeah, I just think she's really strong compared to other characters, I guess. But welcome to the stream. We're just getting started with map 2 here. Between Rain and Philly. The perfect time to pop in. So yeah, naturally, Rain should lose the Shield War. They do have shield advantage though. But what they do have going for them is Edison, right? Who can bait out a lot of cooldowns from the enemy team. And kind of has to do the work of 2 players, like I said. Okay. Baby Bay ends up killing Sado though. So how do they lose the Shield War here? Is too many people looking at Edison? Or do too many people have to look at... So Carpe's looking at him right now. No shield spam coming out from him. The Sigma shield's already taking damage here. They drop. Not everybody drops. Sado gets pulled. Sigma shield has to come out. It just seems that not everybody from Fusion is ready to spam the enemy shield, while everybody from the Rain is able to shield the enemy, shoot the enemy shield, right? Because a lot of people from Fusion are looking behind for Edison, I guess. Let's watch this from Edison's POV. He's on the flank, gets forced out. Good job waiting for the enemy team to drop. And Alarm's looking at him right now. So normally you'd say like Masa has way less shield damage, right, than the Zen. But if Alarm's looking at the Tracer, I wouldn't say too many people looked at Edison. I just don't think Fusion were all ready to make that drop and shoot the enemy shield. Maybe there could have been a little more shield focus from them. Because if you're playing the Orisa Sigma Mirror, right, you don't have speed. So you have to take space by killing the enemy shield and taking space that way. So Fury shield was already pretty low when they dropped. Yeah. Again, Edison is poking away. He's got his pulse bomb basically. Fury this time. Again his shield breaks. Free fight. Sado walks in, but they don't have Fury shield right now. The Shadow shield breaks, but then Alarm picks Baby Bay. Ooh. Oh. Oh, so Baby Bay's on the high ground in Cafe. I think actually the spot that Baby Bay played earlier was really smart. Like playing right here and then spamming away at the enemy team shield is really good because this is cover, right? He can rotate high ground here. I think that's all really good. Also, Carpe swapped over to Torbjorn. So that's something I hadn't noticed yet. But Torbjorn counters the Tracer way more than the Hanzo, right? Like, Hanzo's actually pretty bad against Tracer since it's so unreliable to hit her. She can kind of blink the Hanzo shots. But Torb turret right here kind of wrecks Tracer because it means if Edison comes from here or behind, the Torb turret will just shoot him, right? And will force his cooldowns. So it's actually really hard for Edison to do a lot. Because he can't just go solo a Torb turret. But the whole shield war is kind of cancelled. Because Baby ends up getting picked on the high ground. Edison comes in, stickies. The immortality field comes out. Rain are still doing really good, right? And this is like that shield war that they were winning earlier. Both teams use the Baptiste ult. Alarm kills more people. So yeah. That was a really interesting fight. I think the Torb is like such a good counter to the Tracer just because of the turret. Like you put the turret in a super safe spot, it will shoot wherever the Tracer goes, you know? Okay. Hawk on the high ground, shield's getting spammed though. Oh, Hawk uses his ult. So I viewed this fight as lost, so this is a wasted ult from Hawk. Especially because Gator just died. I guess Edison was coming back, but that fight was lost. It's rough. Because Sigma ult's really good actually. Like especially on a point like this. You like Sigma ult the enemy team and then you fly on high ground. And then you have high ground, you know? All or nothing play. That's rough. Okay, we continue. So, Philly does a really good job of getting the high ground here, right? And interestingly enough, and I think this is actually a big mistake the Rain make during this game. They do this multiple times. They swap off Tracer, but they don't swap off the Brigitte. So now the Brig is nobody to pocket anymore, you know, and the pick becomes kind of useless. And the enemy team still wins the shield war because they have Zenyatta, who does as much DPS as a damage dealer, but the Rain's still on the Brigitte. I think you either stay on the Tracer, right, or you swap both the Brig and the Tracer. It's kind of a duo in my head. So I think Masa staying on the Brig here is a mistake, or Edison swapping to the Mei here is a mistake. It's the way you look at it, right? But playing the Mei swaps the whole composition, right? You change from, hey, we're tagging away at the enemy team from behind and shooting from the front to, hey, we're all from the front now. So all Philly have to do is look in the front. And then you just simply lose because you have less shield damage, right? The enemy team is Zenyatta, you have a Brigitte. That's a big DPS difference. Okay, so Gator puts down the bongo. It's a pretty early bongo actually, but I kind of like the early bongo, especially because they are in a DPS deficit, right? Like I just said, enemy team has descent, they have to break, so they have to do something about it, you know? So the bongo ensures that they can kind of retake this. Fury on the high ground uses his ult. Baby also ults though. Fury kind of walks away. He takes the L on that one. Now it's good that he dodged that actually. Yeah. And then Philly tries to wait out the bongo, which is the right move here in my opinion. But Edison gets a really nice right click. Oh, he just weaves it through. What? How does that hit? I guess Edison was just to the side of the shield, or the shield just wasn't up yet. Okay. Oh, the shield just barely wasn't up yet. Nice shot there from Edison. Okay. So he eats the pull. Nice job by him. And the pull rock comes out for Philly. But at this point they're one down, right? So they have to play safe. They don't have their Zen right now. Philly building a bunch of ults. The Rain they just used both their tank ults. Well, I guess they used Hawk on first point. So they used their Orisa ult and their Kree ult. A pretty good fight win for them, right? Because the enemy team used Fury's ult. But now, however, they have only Baptiste ult. They almost have Brig ult. But the enemy team has Mei ult, almost Torbolt, and both support ults. So they're looking in a pretty bad spot here. But they have to make a big play here with Dogman's ultimate to somehow win this fight. Okay. So Philly go over here. They're looking to use this wall to wall upright because high ground on this point is so strong. And if they just let Hawk sit on high ground, that's really bad for them. So this is actually a very smart move from Philly here. I love this retake too. Also, Carpe swapped back over to the Hanzo right. The Torp really was a counter to the Tracer. Hanzo, however, just good in spam comp, right? Just does a lot of shield damage. His Scout Arrow allows for really good Orisa pulls. And his ultimate combines very well with Orisa. So yeah, Hawk gets fucked here because of a nice wall up from Philly. And Hawk obviously was not ready for that. Really nice play from Philly. And this, let's be honest, it just wins him the fight, right? They get all this high ground for their whole team. Spam is really good on high ground. And they just killed Hawk. Makes them likely to not have to use any ults, right? So that's really good. Like, if you can just win a fight outright without using any ults, it's super good. So both teams use Baptiste ult. That's fine, right? Baptiste ult is very farmable. You farm it very quick. I would spam Baptiste ult almost every fight if I could. Hawk makes the swap over to Hammond to try and like clutch the fight. But Edison's just died, right? So it's like going from bad to worse right now for the Rain. Nice pull slam, actually. Forces the Transcendence from Alarm. And then Masa rallies. The Mail comes out, though, from Ivy, right? And that should solidify the fight. Good job on the Rain, though, to force out these two ults in the last second. And I think after this rally, Masa should really swap, right? Because what's the Brig really doing for the Rain here? Because they're playing Mei. The Rain get all the ultimates. Baby Mei swaps over to the Hanzo even. Hawk swaps back, but then for some reason Masa still stays on the Brigade. And I'm not sure why. I guess the Brigade just worked for them as scrims, or they had never swapped off the Tracer in scrims. But Brigade into spam without Tracer and not against Tracer. Just isn't gonna do too much. Okay, so yeah, both teams spamming, right? But as I said, this is really good for Philly. And Philly also have two ults, right? They have the Orisa ult, which is really good. They even have the Sigma ult, but what most likely is going to be their plays, the Hanzo plus the Orisa pull, going to result in like a really good start out ult, which could force out the Baptiste drone, and then you just Sigma ult after and you have a fight win, right? So let's see what Philly do here with their ults. Shield war still going on, right? Pull comes out. Carpe goes to 1 HP actually from a Dogman, right click. Nice job. Yeah, the Hanzo ult comes out from Carpe, plus the pull results in, as I said, they force out the drone, and they even force out Fortify Do they force out more? I don't think so. Maybe Edison shift. Yeah, even Edison shift. So it's a really, like, even though they got 0 kills, right? I can only tell you, the Fusion have won this fight, right? They might not even have to use a follow-up ult. Just because this pull Hanzo ult did so much. And they're winning the Shield War currently. And they're still all full HP, right? The Rain's at 1 HP. So they might not even have to use any other ults just to win this fight outright. They do end up using the Bongo though because the Rain used the Mei ult. But yeah, the enemy team was so low HP and they had used all their cooldowns. And in general, like the cooldowns on this comp are really long. If you look at these cooldowns, Mei shift like 12 seconds. Orisa shift like 11 seconds, 10 seconds, 12, I don't know. Same, right? Baptiste drone, 25 seconds. So if those things are out and you're fighting, those aren't going to come back real quick. Hawk shift, like 10 seconds right now, I think. So it's very long cooldowns on this spam comp, but they're very impactful. But if they're all forced out, you're likely to win the fight, especially in the mirror, right? So nice pull Hanzo ult combo there from the Fusion. Edison swaps over to the Kree. Only Gator ults online, and Fusion still have a bunch of ults, right? They almost have the Mei ult. They have both their support ults, and they have the Sigma ult too. So this is not looking good for the Rain. Okay, so they do end up killing Alarm, which is really good. But after that, the Mei ult comes out. Alarm didn't even get the trance, so we can zoom in on how that happened real quick. Oh, he just a little too greedy with his trance, and then he gets headshot by Edison. But yeah, the Mei ult, dude, such a strong ult. And yeah, they push with 2 minutes 18 left. So very, very nice push from the Philly Fusion. And I think, like, the comp makes sense when Rain starts out on it, right? With a Tracer Brig. But as soon as Carpe swaps to Torbjorn, which I guess is a really good counter to Brig, right? Edison swaps off the Tracer to the Mei, but then Masa stays on the Brigade, which I think is a mistake. I think you either swap nothing or you swap both, right? But yeah, that's the attack there for the Philly Fusion, and it's a really good attack, right? 2 minutes 18 on Hollywood. That is very hard to beat. Especially in the spam area, because spam in general, like, the fights last very long. Especially on the attack, you have to slowly take space, you know? Anyway, the Rain are starting out on the Tracer Brig comp again. Yeah, this is very good for them at the start, right? Because Carpe is still on the Hanzo. It's very hard to hit Tracer as Hanzo, right? Especially with the armor. So the comp makes sense to start out. Edison goes for flank. He's got the armor, you know. People are already looking behind for him, I guess. But yeah, he's just gonna distract. And if he can distract all 3 of these people, right? If he can distract Boombox, Carpe, and Alarm, then the Rain is just gonna win the frontline war. It's that simple. But yeah, the pull comes out here for Sato. But Carpe's just taking the 1v1. He has the orb. It's pretty good actually from Philly. Like, they're having one guy fight one guy, right? And then their frontline just wins because they have Zen and the other team has Break. So as long as Carpe can, like, win that, that's very good. A Rain walk up here. Bam shield. Nice pull rock actually. Forces the Sato shift. Again, that fortifies a long cooldown. It's 11 seconds. If they can capitalize on that, would be good. Interesting too is that Baby Basil on the Hanzo here is on the Kree earlier. But the Hanzo just makes sense, right? With the Orisa. And how many high grounds there are, right? Oftentimes Kree is good if there's a lot of low grounds, but because you can wall climb up here, on second point, there's all these high grounds, you know. The Hanzo makes a lot of sense, especially in Hollywood. Rain is slowly starting to win the shield war here. This is something that Rain are actually very good at, it seems. Like, just flat out winning shield war. Because of nice Gator shield placement, because of good Hawk shield management, and then good attention to the enemy shield. Does the usual advice for AD spam rather than jump applying the same way for BAP jump? It depends. I feel against Widow it does Spino Zone, but I feel that Baptiste's head hitbox becomes very weird when he jumps actually. So I don't think jumping as Baptiste works the same way as like jumping normal, right? Normally you're very easy to hit when you jump, but for Baptiste it's a little different. So I feel like against Widow you probably don't want to jump, you just want to use LOS. But against a lot of other comps you likely won't get headshot as Baptiste if you're jumping. Hello Alec, welcome to the stream. Okay, so Rain did actually a really good job just taking space, even though they have less shield damage. I guess it was a big deal that they forced out that Sato shift, and you also have to remember that there's no cover on point. So to use the Baptiste drone on cover, you kind of have to back up. Both teams use Baptiste drone, but this Dogman Baptiste drone is out in the open, while this Boombox Baptiste drone is in cover, right? So it's not going to get killed here. So interesting, Masa's going to high ground. He's very low, so he needs to just chill. Baby Bay, again, Hanzo using high ground, right? He's able to wall climb up here, so the Hanzo pick makes a lot of sense here. And Edison's actually found a very good spot behind the enemy team. So the Rain have a lot of space here. Hawk ends up killing Ivy. Rain's likely to... Nice hit from Masa actually, that's a big deal because that triggers his passive, right? So he now gets the AoE healing around his team. Really nice shift. Normally it's pretty hard to get that shift off against the enemy team. And then Baby Bay ends up killing Carpe. But yeah, I think that was all due to the Rain getting so much space. They did a really good job still winning the shield war even though they have less shield damage. It was most likely because Carpe was looking behind, right? He was looking behind for Edison. So now what we're likely to see is Carpe is going to go swap off the Hanzo again to go over to the Torbjorn. Oh, maybe not, because just the high grounds here are really good. Not sure why. And Masa actually has the Brig ultimate here already. Okay. So Philly tries to get high ground. Again, high ground's so important on this map, right? You already see Baby Bay and Edison and Hawk are also going for it. Let's kind of fight for whoever can get high ground first. The shield for Philly gets killed actually, and Alarm gets randomly picked. That's very rough. If Alarm gets up there, Philly's in a really good spot because it's kind of hard for Tracer to be up high ground all the time. So yeah, good shield spam from Baby Bay. And then the shield breaks. The shift comes out from Fury, but just a little too late and Alarm dies. Nice headshot there. Onto Alarm. And yeah, that should trigger Philly Fusion to back up. But they still got the high ground, so they're probably going to stay up here for a while. Because it's hard to contest them, right, with these low ground people. Especially with the Tracer, you can't do too much. Nice pull from Gator. And again, Gator's so good at Orisa, right? He knows all these high ground pulls. Edison is off on the side here, poking Ivy, right? And again, this is really good for the Rain. Because if you just look at positioning, one, Masa's using his ult right now, giving everybody the armor. That armor lasts 30 seconds. The next fight is bound to happen within 30 seconds, right? And two, Hawk over here has got the high ground. And this is great for him. Because he can play up here, he can spam down on anyone that's low ground, and he's in range of everybody, which is most important. So he is going to, you know, force a lot of people to just look at him, which is very important. You want people to look at you and not at your Orisa. Yes, good spam right now from the rain already. Edison is not in too good of a spot, and I feel like that's because he wants some of the armor that Masa has to give him. The Hanzo ult comes out for the rain. But now they're gonna do the whole Hanzo pull combo. Sato! Sato! There's not a door there! Did you guys see that? Mr. Sato, find in the wild. Gets pulled away from the door. Hanzo ult comes in. Sato panics, runs into a wall. Still runs into a wall. Still hasn't figured out there's not a door there. Finally figures out where the door is. He's done it. That cracks me up. Nice drone from Boombox though. Dogman ends up killing Boombox though, because of the Baptiste. They use Baptiste ult and Bongo, so that's like a million damage a second. But Ivy comes in with a Mail. And Fury's actually used his ult to gain the high ground. That drone wasn't needed. That is true. You probably shouldn't have droned if Sato was also gonna use shift, right? You want to use either or, not both of them at the same time. You guys are right. That shift was bad, or that drone was bad from Boombox, or that shift was bad from Sato, right? You probably just want to use the Fortify here, save the drone. But I like how Boombox just looks at Sato like, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, and then Dogman and Edison, they combine onto Boombox. Alarm does end up getting a nice kill on Edison though, so it's a 1-for-1 right now. Gators plop down his ult, and most notably here, Ivy and Fury have high ground right now. How did they get that? Mid-fight, too. Oh, they just... Dude, they're ballsy. They just take the elevator. That's really smart, actually. Because I think if you just let Hawk up here, you're gonna get screwed. Like, he's gonna do so much onto you. So it's really smart that they just take the time, take that elevator, slow right up. Hawk sees them, but he has to back out, right? Because otherwise he's gonna get May frozen. And this is really good for Philly, right? Because one, their May gets close with the May ult, and two, Fury's up on the high ground. So yeah, mess up there from Boombox or Sato. The ult comes out from Fury actually, which forces drone. So good ult. Drone forces good. They also forced Fortify, which looks like Gator's now a red painted toy soldier or something. That's a good ult to force cooldowns, right? And you don't always need to use these ults to get kills. Just getting cooldowns very often is really good. Okay. Dogman gets rocked from the top ropes. Nice job by Fury. And then, yeah, Ivy uses ult. And again, Gator's Fortify is on cooldown. So he gets frozen. Doesn't end up dying. Oh, he does end up dying. So, yeah. Dude, mailed so good. Masa comes back in. Carpe kills Hawk, though. And that should secure the fight here for Philly because the spawns are really close, right, for the Fusion. And that was a big fight for Philly. Because if you look at the ult situation, Fusion only used 2 ults. And the Rain used 1, 2, 3, 4 ults, you know? So that's really good. Hawk still has his ultimate, but that looks great there for the Fusion, right? Winning that fight with only 2 ults is like game changing. Edison here. Going inside. Now going to push the cart. this is smart, right? Because you see all of Philly is on the high ground. So forcing this cart here will force somebody to drop or go back, or all of them have to drop, right? Which you can't just make this rotation very easy when the enemy team all have high ground. You're gonna get screwed. They're gonna use ults on you. So Edison pushing cart here, very smart. It's the way you want to use Tracer, right? Just because you don't have as much spam means you have to use your brains. The pull, Hanzo ult comes out, it gets droned, but again, getting cooldowns like that is pretty good for Philly. Philly's the back though. And this is why I view Baptiste ult as like an ultimate, right? Or Baptiste drone as an ultimate. It's still 17-second cooldown now. That's so long. Like for whatever ult Fusion uses next, like the Baptiste ult, they won't have drone, right? They end up using the bongo. Pretty bad bongo position. You can get shot, but in front of the shield. So Sato should have put that a little more back. Rain's gonna disengage from this though. Yeah, not too good of a bongo because it's just gonna get spammed down, I guess. I guess he replaces the shield in front of it now. I think the Rain should wait this out completely. They shouldn't be pushing up right now. Okay, they did wait it out completely. And then Hawk goes for his own ultimate, which after that he's probably gonna land high ground, right? So starting out with that is really good in my opinion. Oh, he doesn't go high ground. Does he? No, he doesn't. But he does end up getting Alarm, who had his Transcendence. So I guess they missed the drone. Oh, he gets booped. Okay. So Masa boops Boombox. So he can't get the drone on Alarm. Wow, that's unlucky. That's mega unlucky. Because it's actually smart for Alarm not to use his Transcendence, right? Because if they can just drone it instead, they could use the Transcendence for a higher impact ult. Or they can just use it to engage, right? So, good plan there actually by Philly. But really good boop by Masa. The boombox into the corner so his drone failed. Wow, that's sick. Yeah, that, turns this into a 1-for-1. Fury's taking the high ground again. Fury lives on the high ground. And I think this is so strong a Sigma. He drops down on Dogman. He gets the drone out of him though. Oh, Dogman goes to 1v1 Carpe. He wins it. Now Boombox comes in. Is Boombox gonna get him? Oh no, Boombox missed the shots. Oh, he does get him. Mio Sato also dies. So nice fight from the Rain. You end that out. And yeah, it was really unlucky that the drone didn't connect with Alarm. That was actually a really good communication there from Alarm and Boombox to not use the Transcendence. But that boop from Masa is so clutch. Because I think Philly would have just won this fight if not for that, right? Because they were down Baby Bay. So if Alarm lives, especially with Transcendence, they just win that. But nice boop from Masa actually just wins them the fight. And again, the Tracer break makes a lot of sense to me when you're playing both of them. But when they swap the Tracer to the Mei, it doesn't make too much sense. And again, like this third point is pretty bad for Tracer, right? Because there's not too many flanks you can do onto the enemy team support. Like the enemy team support is going to sit here. You can only go from here, or maybe you can go through the high ground, but that's a very long rotation. Or you can go through here, right? There's no real like, hey, I'm going behind the enemy team like that kind of flank. So that's where the Tracer like becomes worse in my opinion. Anyway, Rain is still getting staggered kills here. Everybody's gonna go down point. Again, great for the rain. Also, ult economy again looks really good for the Fusion, right? They weren't able to use their Transcendence last fight. And there's basically 4 ultimates up here for the Fusion. There's only 1, 2, 3, I guess, for the rain. But that Hanzo ult and that Orisa ult's pretty far away. So, ult economy is looking good for the Fusion again. And I think in these fights, the first thing you'll see constantly is this pull Hanzo ult combo, because it forces out so many cooldowns, especially to the drone, that it allows for follow-up ultimates like the Sigma ultimate. Yeah, spam phase again. They weren't able to get 2 fights on this point because Fusion had staggers, but this last point is really hard to hold, right? There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, and look at how small these doors are too. It's really easy to Maywall every door except for the top one, but nobody rotates through the top one because it's such a long rotation. And I mean, even here you could get walled, right? Like, way too awkward to go there. So likely people are just gonna spam through the main door, but this is so defender advantage because they have to go push through these chokes. Meanwhile, Edison is 1v1 in Boombox, does a really good job of it. Forces Boombox's drone out. That's kind of Edison's goal, right? Like, him forcing that drone out, such a big deal. Because now the drone can't be used for the Baptiste ultimate, for example, to block that. Or to block a pull rock. Or to block the Hanzo ult that's going to come. Nice job by Edison. He's now going to back out. Even ends up killing the drone. The Sigma ultimate comes out because the drone is already used. Okay, so yeah, they did end up using Hanzo ult first. That didn't catch. Yeah, the pull Hanzo ultimate comes out right here. On the right side. Oh, and they don't actually drone that. Because Hawk's not being hit right now. Somehow. So why does Darkman use the drone? Oh, to try and save Edison? Or maybe he just does it to save Baby Bay from the Sigma ultimate, and then Baby Bay jumps away from it. So Baby Bay jumping away from this drone here is a big error, because it would have lived until the Hanzo ult's over. He's still going to live though, because nice heals mid-air right there. Job. Can't hit him either. And yeah, the spam war continues. Carpe ends up killing Masa. And it's very hard for Edison to get in through here, I feel. Oh shit, he just goes for it. Wow. Carpe big dick energy. Yeah. Alarm. Is that a 1v1 win that he wins against Edison? Does he get the heals? Oh, nice. So Ivy hits a right click, I think, onto Edison. But yeah, like just to get to Alarm, if Alarm sits here, like back here, right? Then Edison has to use at least 2 blinks to get to him. Through here or even through here. Like maybe he could go all the way like this. But then still he has to use like 2 blinks to get to him, right? And then he only has like 1 blink left for the fight. And then if he has to recall, he's useless for the rest of the fight. So Trace is not too great of a pick here. Not good enough flank angle. And Carpe ends up swapping a Torbjorn as well. So it was interesting that I didn't swap earlier. But now the swap that Torb comes out to extra counter the Tracer, right? Edison ends up going here, and then he drops the left side. So he is on the flank, but Carpe is already shooting him, right?
Cheers, love.
Oh, thank you for the subscription, Nettie. Welcome. Thank you so much. Twitch Prime. Okay. So, Baby Bay over here. They have the pool. Hanzo ult ready, right? Gator's already using his Bongo as well, and the ult bank just looks really good for the Rain here. Ult bank also looks good for the fusion though, and having mirror ults always good for the defense, because if they kill one with, let's say, the Mei ult, and the Rain kills one with, let's say, their Sigma ult, then the defense comes back faster, right? So yes. Just like this point is really hard to attack. So the Hanzo ult comes out. It's not followed up by a pull though, or the pull doesn't connect. If they would have pulled Fury in here, that would have been really good. Let's see if Gator had pull or not. Oh, he does pull, yeah. The pull and the Hanzo ult are just a little disconnected, I think. Normally you Hanzo ult first and then you pull just a second later. But pull comes out first and then the Hanzo ult is cast, right? So yeah, just a little bit of a timing error right there from the Rain. I don't think it was gonna kill Fury, but if you can even get the drone out, right, with the pull Hanzo ult, that allows for like maybe a Hawk ult later. Yeah. A little bit of an error. Edison ends up killing Ivy, but Carpe kills Dogman. So how does Edison actually get away with this? Because it's very hard to kill Trace, like to play Tracer into this, right? He's on Ivy. He blinks out. Dogman ends up dying. Oh, he gets the Bongo damage boost. And Ivy just doesn't expect the damage to come out from him right here. 150 HP, Bongo damage boost, dead. Right? Bongo damage boost. Actually insane. 50% damage boost. So really good job there. Ivy just didn't expect the burst. A little slow on the shift. But Dogman died, right? So as I said, trades are really good for the defense. Pull comes out for Sato. Yeah, the Rain are cleaning up. But they've lost Dogman. So basically all their healing's gone. And if you have no healing, very rough to win fights like this, because it's like a slugfest, right? Dogman's back now. That's good for them, but Baby Bay has just died. And now Gator's also gonna die. The Torb is just so good. And then end up ulting. And they already have a lower time now than like the Rain already have a lower time than Fusion do. Ivy even ults. Probably didn't need that, to be honest. But I get that he did it because it's such a panic moment, right? Like everybody screaming, get to the car, don't see 9, that kind of stuff. So yeah, Rain do end up losing that. It was a good push. I think if they were a little cleaner on that, right? Because they used like all of their ult bank. If they were a little cleaner on the pull Hanzo ult and maybe force out some more cooldowns using that, would have been better. Because they used like every one of their big ults, right? So that is a fight. If they want to win this point, they need to win that fight. But yeah, the Mei ult is just so good on this point. And Edison, again, he swaps over to the Mei. But then Masa doesn't swap off the Brigitte. Which is again, I've talked about this. I'm not going to hammer on it too much. But the Brigitte really feels to me like it's like the Pharah Mercy. Right, where the Mercy is only picked because you have to pocket the Pharah because she's such a value pick and you enable her. It's the same for Brig Tracer in my opinion, where the Brig really enables the Tracer. But now, you swap off the Tracer and then you don't swap off the Brigade, even though the Brigade only has 6% ult charge. Think is an error. I don't see what the Brigade does, right? Instead, you'd want to pick Zen. But again, Masa is a main support. He used to be a really good Zen, but maybe he doesn't like have faith in a Zen or something. Oh, and then the pull rock comes out. Hawk actually does unblock the rock. A nice pull rock plus Sato ult bursts Baby Bay instantly. Watch that again. So Hawk just has his shield out. The rock comes from the side. Okay. Nice. Orisa ult too. It just does so much damage. So yeah, that's basically another fight win. And now the Rain only have a minute. And in spam v spam, those fights last so damn long that a minute is like likely only going to be a one fight, right? And maybe you can come in with like Wrecking Ball for the recontest, but it's not looking too hot. And you see out here for the fusion as well. They have their Mei and their Sigma together. So if anybody walks in right here, like a Sigma tries to off angle this side, they'll just get Mei walled and frozen. So you kind of see the 2v2 with the Mei Sigma against the Mei Sigma right now. Nice pull in the back on alarm. Baby Bay ends up dying to Boombox though. And that's really bad because, as I've said, like these kills for the spawn are so far away. So let's see what happens. Oh, he just gets spammed by the side here. It's this little angle that Boombox gets. That just crushes Baby Bay. The drone again used by Dogman 2. And yeah, there's just no damage now again. So the Rain, like, okay, so Dogman dies now too. And even though this trade kill comes in, it's not worth, right? They gotta get out. Oh, they're staggering. They're not gonna get one fight now. Gator stays alive. Baby actually comes back in, gets a kill. Okay, so the Rain are gonna get another fight. Possibly a 6-2. Their ult bank looks like it's starting to become rich, right? They have 4 ults almost coming up. Baby Bay's ult is really close. So is Masa ult. Fusion ult bank also rich though. This is like another big fight. And the Rain at best can only get a draw here now, right? That is rough. The pull Hanzo ult comes out. Ivy just ice blocks, but forcing the ice blocks okay there. Because now Edison can go on him right after. Boombox over here uses this Baptiste ult. Masa ends up dying though. He almost had his ult, so that's extra rough. This was actually a really smart way to use the Baptiste ult because Edison over here had just used this Mei wall. So your Baptiste ult is free then. Normally as Mei, you want to save your wall for the enemy Baptiste ultimate so he doesn't get too much value. But as soon as Boombox sees the Mei wall go down, he plops down that ult on the high ground. And that ult makes you do double damage and double healing with all the projectiles that go through it, right? And yeah, Fusion just gets their ults first. Edison doesn't even get the ult. This map is over. And I feel like the real heirs there for the Rain wasn't playing this Brig Tracer comp. I feel like it was they swapped off Tracer because Carpe countered on the Torb, right? And he had really good turret placement. Understandable. But they don't swap off the Brigade, so the comp becomes less good, like flat out less good than the enemy team's comp. So that's rough. Yeah, let's answer some more chat questions here. Welcome. Yeah, definitely welcome, Nettie. How is it commentating this in real time? It's impossible to get all of the details. I don't try to get all the details. I try to find a mix between getting the details and also like keeping the VOD view going, right? Because if I just work on like, you know, like doing everything real time, or I do things too fast, I'll miss things. But if I do things too slow, then it'll just be boring, right? Because then we'll just be sitting on each map for 2 hours, which to me is boring. To you guys is even more boring. So I'm trying to like find a mix between pointing out stuff that's really interesting, and then also, you know, finding all the details, all that I can find and can think of in the moment, right? Oh. You're asking how is it commenting on this live without pauses? Like casting? Casting is actually really hard. Like it's, I don't know, I've tried casting sometime just for fun, but it's really hard to like keep the word flow going and, you know, seeing everything that's going on. And oftentimes what casters do is they'll just look at the kill feed. Oh, where's my mouse? Yeah, I don't have a mouse anymore. Okay. They'll just look at the kill feed, which is in the top right here. And then they'll just mostly comment on the kill feed. And then when they see something on the screen, they'll look at that, right? Or if a big ultimate is popped, then they'll comment on that. But it's not like they see everything, right? They miss a lot of stuff. But it's their job to get as much as they can, and also keeping the viewer informed what's going on like a good detailed basis. So it's really hard to cast. I use the replay viewer, so I just jump back all the time. And I try to catch most of what I can. Did you see the crap ball roster review? I have not yet. I'll go look at that after the whole VOD review. So it's 3 minutes, and I want to upload this VOD to YouTube. But I'll go look at that, Stir, and I can tag you if I do. Anyway, if you guys are all enjoying the whole VOD viewing and me doing all of this, then make sure to leave a follow because I do a lot of these. And this upcoming week, we actually have 4 days of Overwatch League. Not as many games each day, but I intend to try to go live each day and do one of the games. So be excited for that and make sure to leave a follow if you want to see more of this kind of content. Okay. Now we go into Hanamura. Hanamura. And interestingly enough, Erster's put in right now. And they're playing the Junkrat, right? Rain is now 0-2 down. Their Tracer strat kind of got shut down. Not because the Tracer didn't get any value, but I feel like the Fusion had like really good answers, right, with the Torb. Maybe we'll go back later to see exactly how the Torb kind of shuts down the Tracer, but for now, just to assume that putting the turret in safe spots denies all the Tracer flanks. But what's weird again is that they're playing a spam comp, but Masa's on Brig again. Like, if it's a spam mirror, he's not gonna be able to armor and save anyone, you know? Maybe Erster can play really aggressive and get the armor packs, but Brig doesn't really enable anybody like he does like Doomfist or Tracer or Sombra or even Echo right now, right? Brig Echo is really strong. Even though Echo's banned this week. And so is Brig. But yes, the Junkrat. Junkrat is really good on defenses, I think. Especially on 2CP maps. Because he spams chokes really well. And also, he kind of wrecks teleporter plays. Right? If you're Junkrat and the enemy team all TPs on a spot and you're close, you can just use your first bullet and then a mine. And then you kill the Symmetra or whoever comes out of the TP. While normally you would play Mei in this slot, right? But Mei actually does really badly against Junkrat. Or against Symmetra, my bad. Because the Symmetra can actually charge her beam on the Mei wall. And she plays around shield so much that she's not likely to get frozen. So the Junkrat kind of feels like a semi-counter to the Symmetra here. And also just seems like a good pick, right? Junkrat ult's very good. And you can spam a lot on this specific point. So, immediately, Fusion use a very much used teleporter. They teleport from this house to this high ground over here. I'm surprised that the Rain weren't completely ready for this. But again, they have a lot of spam themselves. So the shield actually instantly dies. Gasor is saying Junkrat is a good pick. Am I dreaming? I think the Junkrat is only a good pick because Symmetra is really good on a map like this. Otherwise, I would never say he's good. Okay. But again, I feel like what Philly could even do is just go spam mirror. Because the break just doesn't do as much spam as the Zen, right? So you're gonna lose the shield war eventually on the defense. But interesting strat here from Philly to actually do a free split. They teleport with the Lucio, the Rein, and the Mei, and their Orisa stays main with the Hanzo. So really interesting strat. Actually pretty good in my opinion. Because if you ignore main, you get shot in the back. But if you ignore point, you lose the game because they're on point. So actually, they even wall Dogman over here. He's probably going to get out, but he has to use all his cooldowns. So that's very good. And Carpe is spamming away. So they've put Hawk Shield here to go deal with this. Sato's shield ends up breaking. Nice job from the Rain to kind of back up the point to deny that double flank. Wait, Atlanta broke TP too fast? Ooh. Maybe that is what happened. But the perfect people stayed behind for Fusion. So I don't think so. Okay. Oh, yeah, they did break the TP. Oh, so what I was saying is it's stupid. Wait, but the perfect people... I guess they would want the Symmetra here too. But yeah. I was saying stupid stuff. They just killed the TP too fast. So they don't really want to be here with the free people. But it does kind of work out. The Symmetra goes to swap. So Carpe's big brain. And now they still are kind of in a good spot somehow. By this TP break even. So yeah, Dogman gets his cooldowns forced out. Sato goes really low though, and now the people in main can't really spam anymore. Sato gets range healing. Hawk actually gets frozen, so really nice freeze there from Ivy. The wall comes out again, really nice. Ivy's popping off. He's gotten really good walls so far. Erster's just getting wrecked. Nice wall actually from Sato. He does end up dying though. And Philly are probably going to lose this fight in the long run here. Still going. Fury's still alive. Another good wall from Ivy. Oh, he gets stunned though by Masa. There's no way they win this fight anymore. Yeah, and it's as I've been saying, right? The Rush kind of have to win the fight pretty quickly, while the spam can take a while. And even though they're playing spam with Brig, kind of working out. And the spam can, like, you know, especially the Sigma, right? Does a bunch of damage. Hello, Mitch. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and the Hanzo ult comes out from Baby Bay too. So the Rain win this fight. And that TP actually couldn't be taken because of a nice pull actually from Gator to pull people off the TP. Really good timing on that. So yeah, Carpe swaps to the Hanzo. And now actually both teams the Reign still have a bit more spam, right? And the Hanzo pick is actually really interesting from Carpe. I guess because Hanzo's so good on this map, you have all this high ground he can abuse, right? It's a pretty good pick. Even though the whole fusion plan is to kind of rush someone because they have the Lucio. Which, yeah, they kind of have to get close somehow. Which is going to be rough on this map, right? And even if they get close, they can still get Masa stunned. So I think maybe going to spam Mary here would have been better for the Philly Fusion. Because they just have more spam. If they would go Mei Hanzo, like now, and then go Orisa Sigma, and then go Bap Zen, they would have more spam damage because there's a Brigitte on the Reign. And we just saw, like, on Hollywood, how unfavored that matchup is. Okay. The Reign again, rotating away from the Reinhardt, right? Nice walk in from Philly. And the Reign really can't take the fight up close. The Reign and the Mei. I mean, we just saw how good Ivy's walls were, right? So you can't get caught. Interesting trap here from Erster. Now this is an interesting start of a fight, right? We've got the Philly Fusion all setting up on the right side over here. They're going to look to get point. They're probably going to have Carpe have an off angle right over here. And then the Reign really want to surround point, spam from multiple angles, right? Because there's two entrances that are really relevant. This is an entrance, but it's not that relevant. Yeah, they just want to spam in from both sides. So the Philly Fusion have to use both shields to shield both entrances, right? And then one of them is going to break, and they're going to get picks. Especially because they also have the Junkrat Dyer here. So we will see how this fight breaks out. A lot of ults here coming in for Philly though. Gator instantly uses ult. I really like using that Orisa ult fast. Should break Sato's shield very, very quickly. And then the tire also comes out for Erster. They try to wall Hawk, but he does a good job not getting walled. Now, see the Erster tire here. Coming in the back. It's got in front of Astro. Ivy used his ultimate here to catch out Gator. Is he even gonna die? Oh, he might not because Masa's rallying. Nice defense there from Masa to save Gator. Also boops away Carpe. Even though Break might not be the best pick here, Masa's still playing the character really well. And yeah, as normal, right? The long fights are really won by the Reign here. But you also have to consider the Reign used a lot more ultimates here than Philly. They used the tire, they used Orisa ult, and they used the Baptiste and the Brigitte ult. So they only have the Hanzo and the Sigma ult here. While Philly only really used the Mei ult. So window plus heals is kind of crazy at saving Gator. Yes, definitely. The Baptiste gets double healed if he right clicks through a window, right? So that's a good ultimate from Dogman too. But this is a rough fight, right, for the Reign. Like they have to really outplay Philly here to go and win this fight. Wall comes out really early from Ivy, which blocks off some spam damage, to be fair. It blocks off Erster for a second. I think it's not too good of a wall though. Erster can just walk around it. Doesn't wall off anyone else because Baby's over here. And where's Dogman? Yeah, he's jumped over, right? Then the pull Sigma ult comes out. This should be getting blocked by the beat though. Beat. Okay, not even beat. They used the drone for it, so that's smart. Oh, but then the beat comes out too late. Okay. So that's a fail there from Philly. I understand that they want to drone the Sigma ult there, but they also need a lot of tempo, I think. They need to just go, 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 you know? Because they have so many more ults on the enemy team. So, like, them trying to, like, save them might be a mistake. Sato's dead now, and he's, like, the pillar of the team, right? Because he's the Reinhardt. Hanzo ult comes out from both sides. And then, yeah, because the fight, again, is taking long, Rain kind of win it. Okay, is there even another fight? Fury's gonna go Hammond, so he's gonna... Oh, he got pulled, so he might not even be able to touch. Heartbeat gets picked. Yeah. Oh, nice block from Masa. Yeah, this fight is not winnable for the Philly either. Because they're just staggering in, you know? Well, actually, good defense from the Rain. And they were able to counter the initial Symmetra TP. But I can't help but feel like Fusion kind of slammed their heads against a brick wall, you know? Like if they had just gone spam, which they were so good at last map, on that attack, it's actually like really easy to get your Mei and Sigma in, right? If the enemy team doesn't have a Mei. Like you can just walk in, there's no wall. You can spam away at the enemy shield. They don't have a Zen. You're gonna outspam them. You're gonna slowly take space. Setup might have been like the better move there, but hindsight is always easy, right? And it was a shame that, you know, the whole Symmetra TP didn't go off. That kind of screwed them over there. Anyway, let us go for the Philly attack now. Okay, so Philly has decided to defend with the same thing, right? Except they've swapped out the Brig for the Zenyatta, which I think is smart. They also have the Junkrat. And I guess this really is to like block the enemy team from TPing. Let's see if Rain do the exact same thing here as Philly just did. Nope. Ursa's gonna go swap to Tracer. Actually, I think the Symmetra must have just been for scouting. He went back to spawn afterwards, right? And now you have the Tracer Brig combo again, which the Tracer can force point. It's like the one thing she's good at, but otherwise it's like pretty hard, right? Because you're not gonna be able to walk out of the door very easy when the enemy team is just gonna outspam your shield. Because they have Brig Tracer, so they're never gonna outspam Junkrat Zen. Yes. So maybe Urster can like go behind and then force point, and then they can walk in. But I'm not sure if this is good for the Rain. Right, it really depends on if Urster can do a lot on the Tracer. So he's going under. He's trying to go to point. Alarm is on point. Recall is forced. Yeah, that's already rough, right? Because they've used armor pack and all 3 blinks, and now they're still gonna go walk in. And yeah, they're just gonna get out spammed. And losing that first fight is rough because it fuels all Philly's ults, right? They're close to Ivy ult now. They're close to both support ults. Close to Fury ult. I really feel like the only real way here is to get Ursher to force point and get him onto point with more than 1 blink, right? Because he had to use all his blinks to go under here there. I feel like he needs to go for like a longer rotation. Maybe he can like triple blink into this area and get the health back and then go to point. And then he can get armored on point, right? This is the sight line here. But let's see what happens. Yeah, so he does the pathing I was talking about. Goes left side. Now he's going to get all the blinks when he gets the point. But the Rain's already walking in. So they're not taking the time to set up, right? If the Rain would have waited with walking in until Urster was on point, that would have created way more pressure on the Philly Fusion. And I'm not sure why they're pushing out so aggro right now. I mean, that doesn't really matter. Like, they just have to wait until Urster gets the point to walk out, right? Because if you look at the front line here, and Dogman gets rocked, but overall, they're not doing that bad in the Shield War, so maybe that's why. The Dogman just jumps and gets rocked. Nice by Fury. Nice rock there, actually. Yeah, I feel like that was a little too early from the Rain. Because you see now Urster's forcing point. Hey, I have a question. My team played Echo with Spam and Scrim today. Trishie, I don't feel like she's really good with Spam. What do you think? Let me answer that question after this map. It's nearly over, so. Then we can talk about it a little bit. Then I can take a short break, and then we continue. Okay. So, again, they're still on the Tracer. Masa swapped over to the Zen right now. So no more armor packs for Urster. You might as well go Mei at this point, in my opinion. But the Tracer's still okay at forcing point, so it's not the end of the world. And they now have a lot more spam with the Zenyatta, right? Masa's actually really good at Zen. Urster now fighting Fury, actually, on the high ground. Gets the pack too. Fury ults to kind of get away from the Tracer. Pretty smart. And then Carpe kills Dogman again. Ooh, Dogman even used his drone. See how he dies. Oh, he got killed mid-air before he could land into his drone. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, Hawk even hits a nice rock onto Fury. Fury's just zoning. Urster. What do you even do? Baby Bay gets Sado. This fight's so messy. Ivy ends up tiring. And I get both Dogman, or both Baby Bay and Masa. And yeah, that fight's over at that point. I think Tracer's still vibing Coast, so she can't swap. That makes sense. But I mean, Urster could just kill himself here. He could just jump off the map, so he's obviously deciding to stay on Tracer. Okay. Philly used a lot of ults there, though. They used 4 ultimates. The Rain only used 1. So that was actually a really, really good fight for the Rain. And now they have to go and win the last fight because they have 5 ultimates, right? If they don't win this, shame on their family. So I think, again, you wait till Urster's set up, then you walk in. Otherwise, why are you playing the Tracer? Drone comes out here for Dogman. Saves both Baby Bay. But it's kind of bad placement. Let's see. Okay, the pull Hanzo ult comes out. Everybody's here. And Dogman drones. But if he just drones right here, on this corner, it'd be like really hard to kill. And everybody can stay in it. He throws it really far. And then Hawk actually just walks out of it. because this drone position isn't that great. Needed to be more far back. Still save Baby Bay and Gator though. Hawk ends up dying. Which is rough, right? Because they only have 30 seconds left now. Is Urster setting up again? No, he's still with the team. Hawk's back. Okay, so now they walk out aggressively. They use their bongo. Philly also used their bongo. And then Urster goes and sticks the bongo. So that's a really good use of sticky bongo. Right? Because bongos, like I always say, bongo is the best sell in the game. So being able to kill it with just the sticky is good. Rangers to use all their ults, right? They only need this 1 point. So they're just literally using everything. And I think this is good actually because they need to get out of that choke. They need to go touch the point. Hawk goes in 1v1's Fury. He's going to go kill him. Yes, and now Gator set up on point 2. So nice walkout for the rain there. They know we only need this point. Just fucking use everything. Nice pulse bomb from Urster onto the bongo. Ivy's over here spamming. Oh, Ivy almost jumps off the map. Ends up dying. I think he wanted to jump over there actually. Doesn't reach it. Yeah, once the Tracer has space, she can do a lot, right? And Rain actually end up winning this, but that attack was not late. They really needed to wait for Urster to set up point there. But yeah, 2-1 for the Philly Fusion now. And we're gonna go into what map next? Gonna go into Dorado next, actually. I think Atlanta Rain end up tying it 2-2. Yeah, Echo question. I have a question. My team played Echo with spam in my scrim today, but I personally don't feel like she's really good with spam. What do you think? I think Echo is probably best with dive because she's very, very good in finishing people off. But I also think she could be played like Pharah, right? Where you can use her E to just break shields. And give her a space for Mercy to stay. I think she is, if you were to pick a comp around her, she's probably best with some dive comp, right? With another flanker like Sambo or Tracer or maybe Doomfist. And then like a Winston Diva. Then either a Mercy or you don't even always need Mercy with her. I feel like you could also Lucio Moira with her, right? Her effective range is too good as a dive hero. I think it's not just that. I think she's so good at finishing people off. Juicy Kisses that for dive, especially when you have so much upfront burst damage, being able to like finish off enemy teams before they can like heal up, right, is like a big deal. We played Brig with her as well. Yeah, I think Brig's insane with her, but Brig's banned this week, so that's why I didn't bring her up. But I think Brig, Anna maybe, right, could be a super good support lane with her. I would say she works well with Zen. Yeah, you could even play Brig Zen. I think that's really good too. Like Brig Zen's probably the ideal support line. Because then you could also play like a Tracer, right? And you could orb one of them and then give the armor packs to the other. Super good. And like Monkey Diva or Hammett Diva. God, that comp's so good. Also, she can take tanks that are low to get up. Yes, definitely. Okay, guys, I've got to take a quick break because I've been going for 2 hours now. I got to get some new coffee. I got to get some water. But I'll be back after that. Make sure you leave a follow if you've not already. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Ah, I am back. Any more chat questions? When is Echo coming into Overwatch League? I have no clue. Probably like 3 or 4 weeks. Not sure. Dude, but she has good value at range. You can do everything, dude. Echo seems really strong. Okay, enough talk about Echo. Get back into the VOD stream. Thank you for sticking around and waiting for me. I've gotten new coffee, new water. Refreshed. Okay. So now the Rain are playing full spam. Which, if they're putting Urster in, right, not Edison, they should be playing this in my opinion. I like they've now swapped up Masa on the main support role, right? They've put Masa back on the Baptiste, which he was so good at last season. And Dogman on the Zen. This makes a lot more sense for their support characters. And yeah. I think them adapting mid-series is very good. Maybe they adapted it a little too late already, but they've won the last map. Just barely, but they did win the last map. Now they're in a spam mirror. If I remember correctly, they kind of rolled this map. So let's see how and why. Well, that's not a good start. Hawk gets pull rocked and he insta-dies. And Urster's kind of the resident Mei player for the Rain as well, right? So if Urster's in, then Fusion should know, hey, they're going to play Mei. And if Edison is in, they're going to know, hey, they're going to play Tracer. And it's the same for the Fusion, right? If Funny Astro's in, they're going to know, hey, they're going to try and play Lucio. But if Boombox Alarm is in, then it's probably going to be Baptiste. Okay. Nice pull here from Gator. They don't end up rocking it. I guess because it was a nice... So this is something that's really good on Sigma, right? Really good with Sigma. You can kind of like block pulls. Not in that he can block the pulls, right? Unless he eats them, but that's very close range. But in the sense that the people that get pulled, he can like shield off. So he can shield off rocks. He can shield off Zen right clicks. He can stop all this one-shot stuff, right? That's why Sigma's really good. And normally D.Va can do this too, right? But D.Va was banned this week. So again, pull from Gator. Wall from Urster too. So they're trying to like pull and then wall the people that get pulled in front. But the wall just barely whiffs. If they would have gotten Fury here, that would have been insane. But a really, really good pull. And they also force Sato's Fortify. So the Rain already doing really good. They're being proactive with their cooldowns, right? And I think this is very, very important. Being proactive with your cooldowns, especially in a mirror matchup, will allow you, as a team, it will allow you to use your cooldowns aggressively, like that pull, and it will force the enemy team to like have to use their cooldown defensively, right? They have to use Orisa Fortify because the Rain got a good early pull. And now Gator, he has Fortify advantage, so he can pull into Sato very aggressively. Without having to worry too much because he has Fortify and Sato does not. Also winning the shield war. They force out Mei Ice Block and Drone just by spamming. Dogman ends up getting picked though. So it was all looking nice and dandy for the Rain, but Dogman does end up getting picked. Oh, he's probably gonna... Yeah, he's getting right-clicked here by Alarm. Nice right-click from Alarm, actually. Holy crap. Okay, the Baptiste comes out for both sides. Neither side has the the Maywall right now, so they can't block off the Baptiste ults. And then Ursa gets a nice off angle on Sato, who obviously didn't have Fortify anymore. So he ends up dying. That's a 1-for-1 right now. Somebody has to go back to push cart. So Masa goes back to push cart. Oh, nice pull on alarm. He doesn't end up dying, but that's great. I think Fury ended up shielding. Take some shots there. Still really interesting. I think Sato has gotten back now, so it's a 6v6 again, right? Both teams are full. Ivy's actually done a really good job farming his mail. He's already got it, while Ursa's still on 70%. I mostly, like, you know, tack that to defense advantage, though, right? Ivy can kind of shoot while going back, but Ursa has to shoot while going, like, forward, right? So it's easier for Ivy to hit his shots because the people have to push. Hawk, on the other hand, already has his ult. And Dogman, because he got picked, is a little behind alarm. But it's no big deal, and then Cart Base somehow gets picked. You see how big these picks are in this poke mirror? That's what it's really about, like getting space and then doing stuff like that. Really nice shot from Baby Bay. Even without wall hacks. And then Hawk uses his ult too. So at that point, you're 2 down as Philly. They even used a Mail on Gator, but he still has Fortify. That's a pretty bad use. Ivy actually found that really fast though. So great fight from Rain actually, and they end up getting that pick, so they only have to use Hawk's ultimate. The Sigma ult. Oop. Rain now setting up, going high ground. Right. They're probably not going to take this high ground, but even pressuring the Philly a little bit for this is good, right? This point, very defenders favored. If you have this high ground, it's hard to push it, especially with spam. So Gator can go for pulls on the people that are on high ground. Or the Rain can play like a tactful game, right? Where they put people on cart, and then the people that are not on cart, they LOS right here under. And one of Philly has to drop, and then they can start shooting that person from under the high ground. So it's very interesting. We'll see what the Rain do here. Urster's already kind of playing under. Pull comes out, misses. Yeah, they're all going to go play under. So this is really smart from the Rain, right? Gator gets Sigma ulted, but no big deal. He is Orisa, and he can just fortify it. Does go low, but he's okay. And they pull Fury off the high ground, so great play from the Rain. Everybody's got to drop to go help Fury. They even Transcendence to go help Fury. Dogman also Transcendences. And Urster comes up with the Mail. So actually, really good play from the Rain. Thank you for the follow, Arsenal. And now they also Bongo. Wow. And Baby is also taking the high ground in the midst of all this, right? So that was a great fight. Like, they had the ultimate advantage, right? But the high ground advantage here is so big too for Philly. So Gator being able to pull Fury off the high ground, so massive. And I kind of just want to go back to the start of that and talk it over. Okay. So, the Rain have just taken the first point. It's a spam mirror. Both teams have a pretty sizable ult bank, right? Ivy's just used his Mail, so the Rain have a little bit of an ult advantage because they have the Mail. Both teams don't have the Baptiste ult, and Hawk doesn't have Sigma ult, but Fusion does. So it's a very even fight, right? The problem here for the Rain is that the Philly are coming back from spawn. They are 5-man strong right now, going up the high ground. And the Rain obviously have to push the cart. So it's going to be very hard for the Reign to take and hold this high ground. Baby Bay and Hawk are up here right now. But they're obviously going to get pushed out and not going to last on top of the high ground. Now what the Reign are going to do very, very smartly in this fight is they're going to use cover, right? They're going to use this little box under the high ground to LOS the enemy team and make sure they're safe characters like the Orisa and the Mei, because they have the Fortify and the Ice Block respectively, can still go up and push the cart. So let's watch the first part of this fight play out. Right here. Yeah, pull rock comes out. Gator blocks it. Nice block from him. Gator's going to try and go for a pull from the high ground. He ends up missing, but that's a smart play, right? Nice job from Fury to try and block that as well. And now you're going to see the squishies from the Reign, like Masa Dogman, walk under. Urster ends up getting pulled, and the Sigma ult comes out. Or Gator ends up getting pulled, and the Sigma ult comes out. But it's just Gator, right? And Gator still has this Fortify ability. It's up in 1 second, but he's going to get it. So he is okay, and this is like a really good bait out from the Reign, right? Because they're now all playing under. This is a super good spot for them. Because they'll still get to push the cart with their safe units, right? Like Urster and Gator. If Gator can't anymore, then Urster can go and push it. Anyway, Gator gets ulted up. Gonna use his Fortify. The rest of Reign have to help him, right? And then while all this is going on for Gator, he pulls the high ground. And he ends up getting Fury just from the back there. Like, Fury's life is pain because that was so close to him not getting pulled. It's actually crazy. And Sato actually ended up missing a pull. But look, he like drops just in front of the shield. And then the pull pulls him back. Even though his shield would normally LOS block it, right? Because the pull got attached before he was behind the shield, he will end up getting pulled. And this opens up the whole play for the Reign, right? They haven't used any ults yet. Fury's just used his ult. But because Fury's now in the middle of the Reign, everybody from Philly have to abandon that super good high ground position. And they have to go and help Fury. The drone comes out from Boombox. Fury's still getting pushed. Dogman's Transcendence kind of gets forced out here. He probably didn't need to because the drone was up for the Reign. But because everybody's now had to drop, Urster gets a massive opportunity to mail, right? And he gets 4 people inside of it. Alarm's going to have to transcend this as well. So both teams are transcendencing right now. Sato's used his ult. Fight's still going, still going. The Mei wall actually comes out from Urster to block LOS on the Sato ultimate for both Alarm and Fury over here. That's a pretty big deal. Nice wall. Gator's also going to plop out his Orisa ultimate, right? They're all going to spam Alarm and Fury because they can't be allowed on an off angle. Dogman tries to right click Fury, but Fury had really good reaction speed to actually eat that with the Sigma shift. And this fight's still even, right? Both teams still have 6 players up. A bunch of ults has gone down. But this fight so far has been like really high level play from both teams. And it's been really good. But what really decides the fight here, one, the wall gets forced out, right? But Baby Bay climbs up to the high ground and domes Carpe with a really nice shot. And they also get Sato's ultimate in the midst of all this. So Gator ult's still going. Carpe has died. And Gator's ult, and they've just killed Sato's ult. Will end up making the Reign win this fight. They force out Ivy's ice block. Boombox and Alarm are still on an off angle, but at this point, the Reign has won, right? Gator's ult was still going. It's finally died out, right? That Orisa ult lasts 15 seconds, I believe. So it lasts very, very long. But yeah, the Reign are going to clean up. And that was a really clean fight from both teams. But the Reign having that Mei ultimate, plus the pull on Fury from the high ground, is what won the Reign that fight. And Gator with some really nice Orisa plays coming out. Yeah, really good fight, guys. Now we keep on rolling. I believe Philly can't even come for a recontest, which is very bad on this point, right? Only getting 1 fight is really bad on this point. Because ideally, you get the first fight like over here, right? And then the cart rolls, and then you retake high ground. And then you get the second fight over here, which is a super good spot to hold for the defense. But they don't end up getting that. And this is bad for Philly. Like, they're getting snowballed pretty badly. I think a lot of this has come down to Ivy kind of using his mail on only Gator, and Gator having Fortify earlier. But it's also the Rain playing very well, right? Okay. So next fight. He's gonna stay again. Fusion have high ground, right? Rain still have to push cart. Shield gets broken here for Sado. And Urster actually gets picked. Straight up, and then Baby also gets pulled. Are they gonna die? But let's see how Ursa gets picked. Sometimes these first kills in fights are like the changing point, you know? Playing card, he's full HP. He's right clicking. The shield's gonna break, the pull's gonna come out. He has his ice block. Oh, but the Baptiste ult comes out. And the headshot comes from Ivy, which normally does only 150 damage. But with the Baptiste ult, it suddenly does 300 damage. So yeah, that was couldn't predict that with ice block, right? And he was also probably trying to wall the Baptiste ult when it was gonna come in. So wow, nice burst there from Philly, and they're just gonna win the fight off the Baptiste ult only. And that's pretty good because Rain was snowballing, right? Rain still had a bunch of ults coming up too. So only winning a fight with Baptiste ult and farming your other ult is like crazy. That's high value right there. Oh, Hanzo ult comes out onto a lot of the members of the Philly here, but they use their Baptiste drone very well, and it's also shielded off, so it can't be killed by the rain. Nice Baptiste drone right there. Will actually feed Boombox a lot of ults too, but getting that Baptiste drone is good. And the rain, again, they're trying to do the same thing, right, where they use LOS on the cart and on the high ground, right, to kind of hide their squishies and have Gator push cart specifically. Now, Carpe really wants an angle on these people, but because Carpe pushes up a little too deep, he gets killed. Nice shots on him. And yeah, now the Rain are going to plop out, right, because they're 6v5, but they're still using that LOS kind of, right? Like, Masa's still hiding. Hawk has his ultimate, so you might use that here. Nice pull again from Gator. So, Gator keeps pulling these people off the high ground. With some like miraculous pulls, because you can block the pull with the Sigma shield, right? The Sigma shield and the Orisa shield can both block pull, so as long as you stand behind those, you cannot be pulled by Orisa. But Gator's finding really nice windows to get these ults off, and Ivy uses the mail. Still dies though. Did he not have a shift? He did not. Because I guess he was Hanzo ulted earlier, so he used the shift. That's a mistake. Sado on the high ground uses his ult. Dogman also uses ult, so Rain, all their ults are coming out now, right? Fury uses ult, gets Baby Bay. Nice job by him. Also gets high ground. But the Rain are just so strong, and they use so many ults this fight. Alarm didn't get his ult. Oh, he just barely didn't get it, I guess. He goes for a flank. And Ursa actually goes to 1 HP. And then, oh, he ends up dying. Wow, Alarm was really deep there, actually. He's trying to make a play, like... That can actually be good, though. If you're, like, 1 or 2 down, and you can go for a flank like that to even the score, especially when your spawns are that close, that's really good. The May ult comes out too here for Erster, and that should secure the point here for the Rain. So nice job by them, and a really good usage of like LOS, right? And Gator really good pulls. Holy crap. Dude, that's why Orisa's so damn strong. Like her pull ability is bullshit. They're still stalling, guys. The bomb goes up. Baby on the signature soldier. Okay. Wow. Nice attack there from the Rain. First one was a little bit iffy, but after that, they did so well. Now we see defense. And I think they actually full hold Philly here. So I'm really interested to see how that happened. Yeah. Man pushing up cart. Or Philly pushing up cart, I mean. Okay. Main now. Hold over here. Phillies now. They've all dropped. I'm not sure why. I kind of like it when you have like your May Sigma over here. And then you have your Risson cart. Thank you for the follow, Starlight. Oh, I wonder what happened here. Wait, did they get pulled or why do they all stack up? Because they're May Sigma right now, they're on high ground. Does Gator pull them? No, they just drop. Gator does try to pull them actually. But they just drop. And I'm not sure why. Like, I feel like if you can get your Sigma May over here, contest their Sigma here, right? That's really good. Because you then create two angles you can shoot from. You create over here, and you create right here. And then you can both spam from this side. But if they don't contest you here, you can keep moving up, right? You can take a lot of space for your team. And you can kind of split the map, right? If you can push up here, then you get this split, right? But if you don't, then the Rain are just gonna surround you like that, and you only have this area to play in. So it's rough, I think, if you 6-stack on cart here in the mirror. I think in not the mirror, you 6-stack, right? But in the mirror, I don't think you 6-stack actually. The Rain block off the pull rock. Oh, and the Sigma is actually okay. So they're gonna go do a free split. So I like this. This is great from Philly. This textbook spam play, right? Okay, so now they have that angle that I was talking about, right? Very smart. A good wall actually from Erster, but Ivy's on top of the wall. So if they want to push Fury here, Ivy can just wall, right? Okay, Ivy blocks the rock with the wall. That's okay though. I don't think that was a good wall, but not the end of the world. Okay, so Philly are actually doing a really good job here, getting space, right? They now have this area, and they have this area. So they're kind of getting this off angle. They're creating this off angle, where the enemy team is just going to be on one angle, right? So this is very good for Philly. They have, however, had to use their drone. I wonder how that happened. Maybe Sato just got spammed out. Now the pull comes out, and then Sato uses Fortify. And then, oh, the drone comes out. So that's a bad drone in my opinion from Boombox. I think they were okay there. Because Sato's already used Fortify. Now they've used like almost all their cooldowns on this area, right? Oh, so that's rough. Pool comes out. The rock comes out. Gator gets stunned, but good job from Gator to not fortify that, right? Because they were absolutely fine. Sato again, no fortify right now. So it's okay for Philly. They've got this angle here. They forced out Gator fortify now. That's a very good cooldown to get, right? Because that's on an 11 or 12-second cooldown. But they then kind of give up this angle. What? They were doing so well with Fury on the off angle. Maybe his shield went down. I guess his shield went pretty low. But if Fury could have stayed here, it would have been really good for them. But maybe he had to back up because his shield just went too low. Sato then uses Fortify as well. Get a nice rock, but Sato ends up dying. Wait. How does he die? So he fortifies. He pushes up. He's low. His shield. Oh, and then he dies just because his shield drops. So he should have shielded a little bit earlier. I also feel like Boombox earlier didn't have to use drone, right? So it's like the little things in the spam here. It's like all about little things. Because if that shield just comes up 1 second earlier, Gator's screwed, right? Because you see how low he is. He has no shield. He used this Fortify. Nice drone from Masa, actually. Nice wall also from Ursher to block the Mayo or the Baptiste ult. Now they use their own Baptiste ult. There's no wall available for Ivy, I guess. Oh, there is, but he's just not in a position to wall it. Yeah, the rain cleaned up. So you see how, like, spam is really a game of inches. They've used 2 minutes. 2 minutes. They were in a great spot, right? With Fury over here, the rest of the team over here. But I guess because Sato had to use too many cooldowns, Sato and Boombox, they called for Fury to back up main. And that's kind of what screwed them over, in my opinion. If they could have played safe main and had their Mei Sigma stack really push out, that would have been great. But yeah, Fury goes back. I think if Fury pushes here now with Ivy, that would have been great. Because they could have gotten maybe this cover, right? With the Mei behind the enemy team. But again, Fury only has 300 shield. So maybe pushing up there is a little too aggro with no shield. Right? It's a delicate balance that you have to strike. But Sato dying here. Maybe he used his Fortify too early, actually. He has Fortify. The shield goes down. And then... Okay. He uses Fortify, but he's out of LOS. So maybe he could have waited with that a little longer. It's really interesting though. Like, especially the spam mirror. But yeah. Sato ends up dying. I think if he waits with his Fortify there, that would have been really good. Because they had the Baptiste ult, right? Anyway. The spam mirror is just... Like, teams have gotten so good at this, too. That it's all about the little things. Okay, pull comes out for Sato, forces the Gator Fortify, but then pull, drone, and Sigma ult come out. So I think that's a little much. Oh, but Carpe not inside of the drone. Like, if they're able to drone these two ultimates, that's insane value, right, for one drone. But because Carpe just lands just outside of the Boombox ult, and maybe Boombox should have just went for only Carpe there, with the drone, because Fury's full HP, he still has shield, he'll be able to drop and walk away, you know. So I think he should just save Carpe here, but he tries to save both, and then Carpe's been flying mid-air to the right, so he gets screwed. Maybe Fury would have died, actually. That was a nice try by Boombox. Carpe just moved a little mid-air away from the Hanzo ult, which is understandable. Just rough. Then Dogman picks Ivy. Wow. So yeah, Carpe's already dead, so this fight's already lost for the Philly Fusion, but let's watch this real quick. Oh, he's just inside. He's still getting staggered. Or no, he went to dodge the Sigma. How did he get there? Ivy. Oh, he's with his team right now. Oh, he just walks up, really aggressive, and then now he's stuck. Yeah, that's rough. Carpe dies, Ivy dies. Now you gotta back up, be in the Philly Fusion. Oh, Fury's gonna die, oh no. Now they only have one fight, but they have 6 ultimates. Oh, so as a side note, I don't think stacking up your Sigma ult and your Hanzo ult's good, because with a good drone, you can actually block both ultimates at the same time, right? And then you're just using drone to counter 2 ults. Most of the time what you want to do is you want to bait out drone with one of the ultimates, and then use the second ultimate after the drone is down. Okay. So Gator ult comes out really early again. I think this is good though. You want to be proactive with your ultimates. Fury's ult comes out too. Hits 4 people actually, but again the drone comes out, saves everybody. The Hanzo ult comes out after. There's no pull yet for Sato, but I guess Philly's now like starting to just bunch up their ults because Fury's just died. The Mei ult comes out here for Urster. Alarm Tranks in response, but Ivy still ends up dying. This is really bad, and Ivy actually died of his Mei ult up. And normally you would get Mei ulted, right, and you would instantly use your Mei ult in response, which is very good if you can like Mei ult on your Mei ult, because it makes sure that, you know, they can't come close to finish you off. Oh, but he's had to use Ice Block. And then, oh, he just does a Mei ult in time. And then he's gonna die now. I guess he trusts the trance, but the trance is already out for a while. It's gonna run out. That is rough. Okay, nice defense there by the Rain. And actually the first push for Philly was really good. But just like 1 or 2 slight errors, right, lost them that. But that's when 2 really good teams, they play each other. Those very small things, especially in mirror matchups, end up costing a lot. Okay, map 5, baby. See here. Open my cordial. Yeah. We continue. Okay. So map 5. How's your day been? My day's been good, Ultra. How's your day been? Very busy. I actually watched some Echo scrims today, and they were really interesting. Echo seems very strong. Today's also good. That's great. So we get map 5. And Urster stays in, actually. So Rain is kind of sticking to their adaptation, which I really like. The Tracer was kind of countered by the Torbjorn from Carpe. So putting Edison in then, Fusion's likely just going to roll out Torbjorn. And then Edison's going to have to make the swap to Mei. And then they were stuck on Masa Brig and Dogman Baptiste, you know? So Masa would also have to swap. So starting Urster is probably just a better move. And if they had done this from the start of the series, I actually think they would have won the series. The Rain would have. But they just had you know, the Tracer probably worked out in scrims. Edison was probably destroying everybody. But now that they're up against one of the best teams in the league, right? They're able to counter the Tracer. Because they're all very mechanically skilled. And Rain has to like kind of swap their idea to playing the Mei instead. This already is a pretty good matchup for the Rain, right? They have Fusion is playing the hard rush comp, right? They're playing the Reinhardt, while Rain is playing the same comp, but they have the Sigma, right? And this is actually a really interesting matchup. Because normally you have the Zenyatta instead of the Lucio, so you have a lot more spam than the enemy. But Reinhardt actually has more shield than Sigma, and he also has more shield regen than Sigma. So does the damage and the ult from Sigma edge out not playing the Reinhardt, you know? If the Reinhardt can't get close, it's probably worth it for the Rain, but they don't have that much more spam than the Fusion does, right? It's not like they're gonna 100-0 Sato shield every time. I guess the Sigma shift is a big deal in the shield war. But Carpe actually ends up killing. Now this is something Carpe's been doing a lot. When Billy plays this comp, what they'll do is they'll rotate 5 people around, right? Try to chase the enemy team, try to catch them. And Carpe will go somewhere and just hide. He did the same on Torbjorn. And then once the enemy team rotates into him, he's going to flashbang and kill them. So nice move from Carpe, playing on the high ground. Very, very interesting play, right? Because he's done this a lot. And what's going to kill him? Like, maybe the Lucio can wall climb up. But high ground abuse is very, very strong. And even if they don't go high ground, Carpe can just peek out. He can stun everybody, right click somebody, and then roll back, you know? Really good move there from Philly. Like, kind of surmounting that being outspammed, you know? Now the Rain have no heals anymore. So if the fight just goes long, Philly's in a good spot. Ursher actually walls up to Carpe. Doesn't end up killing him. And yeah, now Funny Astro's camping him. Is he gonna win the 1v1? Who's winning this? Funny Astro. He's gonna roll around. He's probably gonna go kill Erster. Masa comes in for the save. Oh, Masa saves Erster. But still good spot for Fusion, right? Dogman is still dead. Wall comes in for the Rain, but that actually kind of helps Sato. He now can regen his shield. Nobody got caught, right? So that's not too great of a wall because he's still contesting point. I think Rain should just drop that wall at that point because Sato was still recharging shield. But Erster then kills Ivy somehow. I'm not sure if the Rain should have stopped rotating. Or if the Philly should have stopped rotating. Oh, Ivy peeks out. He doesn't get healed. And then he peeks out again. And then he dies. Maybe Philly's plan is just to farm Baptiste ult and win the fight with pull, Fire Strike, Baptiste ult. That could make a lot of sense. Because both teams actually have similar poke, right? It's not like Philly's getting outpoked that hard. Because the Rein shield actually has more regen than the Sigma shield. I understand that they just want to wait for the Baptiste ult. And it's kind of unlucky that Ivy got picked there. Where is Dogman at this point? Is he back yet? Oh, he is back. Okay. Oh, are the Rain just gonna cap point like this? Sato at the drop of shield. Oh, they cap point. Okay. But yeah, Ivy dying there is a big error. And nice right clicks from Mercer actually. He's already at 70% ult. That's so big. Like, Dogman got picked second one by a nice play from Carpe. But to turn that around is really good for the Vayne. Okay. So, what's happening now? You've got 3 of the Philly inside the left side here, spamming the enemy team. And then you've got 3 people rotating around. I'm not sure if I like this play though, because the Vayne now have speed, right? If they didn't have speed, I think this play would be great. But with the Lucio speed, Olive Rain can actually just speed into this Orisa. And Gator's going up front. They're just gonna go hard. Yeah, and you see like Funny Astro, Ivy, and Sato are kind of like, hey, stop killing our friends, please. Maybe if we ask nicely, it'll work. But good decision making from the Vayne to make that decision really quick, actually. Oh, and they still don't make the enemy team cap the point. It was actually a really good fight from the Vayne, and I don't think that rotation's good for Philly. Like, yeah, like if the enemy team has Lucio speed, it's really hard. Carpe swaps over to the Hanzo, which is interesting. Hanzo's very good in the spam mirror, right? But I feel like Overwatch right now, or like Overwatch Dispatch without D.Va, right, was kind of like interesting, where Hanzo kind of counters McCree. But Tracer kind of counters Hanzo, you know? And then Torb kind of counters Tracer. So you'll see like these DPS like swap a lot because of all these counters, you know? Now, Hanzo doesn't really counter Creed that hard. But Hanzo's still good from like long range perspective, right? Because he's already got the high ground over here. And now he's got a really good off angle on the enemy team. And the Kree can't really fight him because the Kree can't go high ground. So that's kind of like where that's coming from, right? Yeah, and Philly walk on point. They do the split again, but this time their split is like not close to the enemy team, right? They've got the Hanzo and the Orisa and the Baptiste together. Got the Hanzo up top, and then they're kind of doing a 3-2-1 split, and then the Ryan and the Mei are just gonna walk at the enemy team and rotate into them. But what the Ryan is doing is really good, right? They're rotating away from the Ryan and rotating into the Orisa. That's exactly how I think you should play it. The Bongo comes out for the Rain, and they just kill Fury, yeah. Because they rotated into Orisa, right? So Fury had to panic away. And this map just goes to the Rain, I think. It's a really good play. Good rotations and good decision making. Fight's not won yet, though. Okay. Fury comes back in on the Hammond. Funny Astro has the beat. Masa still has the beat up. Oh, Hawk actually rocks Carpe. Or I think misses rock on Carpe. Carpe gets the high ground over here. The beat comes out from Masa. The mail comes out from Erster too. Nice pull mailed actually. And Hawk eats Ivy's mail. Wow. Wait. That's sick. Watch this. Oh, he does hit him with the rock. Carpe just like doesn't get stunned. Because the rock stun is based on how far away you are. And Hawk was right on top of him. So the stun lasts very short, right? I think that's a really cool mechanic, actually. Oh, so Ivy throws it long range. Masa boops him out, and then Hawk just noms it. Hawk kind of knew because there was a wall behind him. So the main must be looking for ult, right? And then, yeah, there's no way that the Rain loses it from here. Oh, Carpe kills Baby Bay. Okay, Carpe's dead. Clutch factor gone. And yeah. So the Rain take map 1 and map 5 actually. Or round 1 rather, I should say. But we all know they end up losing the match. So what's happening? First, they're Junkrat. But Masa is on Brig again. So they were doing so well on the spam mirror. Carpe actually decides to go Torb. But Masa is on Brig, and I don't really get the Brig in this comp again. Like, maybe he wants to armor pack Urster, and Urster goes really aggressive. But they've been doing so well in the spam mirror that I don't like them swapping it up now. Like, they could either go the Zen and then the Mei, or they could go for the Lucio again. I'm not sure why they swapped it up. But, because I think Mei's so OP. Like, especially against Reinhardt. If Reinhardt comes close, like, only Mei can stop him, right? With a wall or with a freeze. Junkrat Boop's not going to stop him. Because the Rein has that 50% boop reduction, right? This so far has been good for the Rein, right? But Fusion can just LOS. They should not die to this. Our towards maybe he's hiding. Yeah, he always does this. He always hides somewhere. Oh, Carpe actually tries to rotate the point, but he's gets shredded. So big mistake there in my opinion. I think if you have someone go point, it should be like Fury, or maybe just Fury, or maybe Ivy, but not Carpe. Gator gets forced off high ground with the wall. A nice wall play there from Philly. They can now also regen their shield. And they've killed Urster over here. Nice boop there from Funny Astro. They're now in a 5v5. Carpe's actually going to come back faster. Interesting that Carpe didn't swap against this specific enemy team. Because without the Mei, maybe the Hanzo would be really good, right? Or the Kree. But Torb's kind of an all-rounder. Just a really good character overall. So Torb definitely not bad either. Billy used the wall. They speed. They get onto Baby Bay. Oh, Masa armor pack actually coming in close. What a boop. What the fuck? I didn't even see that in the actual match. Holy moly. That fight's so even too. Funny Astro boops 3 people off the map. That's crazy. How was that even set up? Yeah, the Philly just pushed forward with all their cooldowns, right? And their speed boost. Then Funny Astro comes in from the top ropes. Boops 3 people. Wow. Game-changing boop. Because again, in KOF, first fight matters so much because 1, you get positional advantage, and 2, you get ult advantage, right? Also, Funny Astro got like 30%. Oop, really sick. And now Ursa's made the swap over to the Tracer, and now he swapped off the Tracer again to go Mei, and now the Brig makes no sense again, you know? Maybe Masa will swap too off the Brig? No. I think that was one of the biggest errors actually for them in this game. I think in the mirror they actually seemed, like last map they seemed really clean, right? Because they had the Mei and the Lucio. I think if they would have started on that, they would have actually been golden in this match. Anyway, nice pull on people off the high ground here. Oh, and then, yeah, the Fusion is trying to do the pull fire strike Baptiste ult combo, right? Which is a very common combo. It's a very good combo, but against a good Mei that saves wall, it's very hard to hit. and Ursa is one of the best, right? So he sees this combo's coming because the pull probably comes out, right? The pull comes out, and then he blocks it perfectly, right? Like the perfect wall to block that fire strike. Very nice job from Ursa. Saved his whole team. And again, the Rain have to walk up, right? And the Fusion want to get close because they have that Reinhardt and I guess the Torbjorn too. Carpe's always just on and off angle. Oh, but Ursa knew. Ursa actually finds Carpe on the off angle. He's outbrained them. Now, oh, wait! His right click hits the turret. What? He's outbrained them so hard. Is he not gonna get the kill now? Dude, this looks so derpy, not 25. What happens? Wait! That hit the turret? That's bullshit. What is this game? Maybe it's a spectator thing, but I feel bad for Ursa. This should have been a kill. Dude, he lines it up too. Just the turret hitbox somehow catches that for Carpe. Is he still gonna get the kill or not? Dude, Ursa was like, what was that? I didn't get that kill. Dude, that's crap. I mean, the Rain probably still would have lost that fight. So let's see what happens on the other side, right? Ursa should probably be with the team, but again, if he gets that kill, that's big. So Ivy, it's a massive mail. Probably like a pull mail kind of thing. But they've done the Baptiste ult. Got blocked. Now the Rain used their Baptiste ult. And Baby Bay uses his ult. But a 5-man pull here from Philly. And then, yeah, the mail, really big. And also Shatter. Just to extra kill Baby Bay. You gotta extra kill him, guys. Nice. I like how Philly is like playing around their pull so well, right? First pull, they go for a Baptiste ult. Second pull, they go for the Mei ult, right? Like you really gotta play around your pulls, especially in a comp like this that they're playing. So I love it. Still, the break hasn't really paid off, right? It's been so far, and it's not Musta's fault. Musta's actually a really good break, right? He's doing like almost everything right, but if he's close to the enemy Rein, which he needs to be to get his passive, he's just gonna die. So he needs to play passive. And it's been this far in the game, and he's still only at 94 ult. So even though Brig ult's insane, taking that long to get it, it's not worth. The Sigma ultimate comes out from Hawk, but then the beat comes out from Funny Astro to counter, right? So nice beat. Ult value's been really good for Fusion so far on this map. Let's see. Oh, Baby ends up killing the Bongo. But again, Masa gets close, so he dies, you know? And Masa's actually used a rally too. Wow, you see how Brig just kind of gets ran over by Reinhardt? Like, just look at this. He's trying to hit, giving people armor, right? He's trying to give people armor with his ult. He goes a little too close. Probably going to get frozen. Oh, he doesn't even get frozen. But just gets to dominate. So, Brig is not like she was in GOATS. She's way more squishy. Her shield's only 200 health. She doesn't do enough self-healing. The freeze comes out on him too. Yeah, he's gonna die. He overextended a little bit there. Maybe if he doesn't die there, the Rain actually win this fight. He does. Carpe ends up dying. The Mailed comes out from Erster. Actually gets Sato. Also gets Fury, but Fury is able to shield himself. And the Ivy ult, because people have to touch point, right? And yeah, Fusion take this map. And I think if the Rain start the comp they just won with last map with, right, they're in a way better position. Like they actually did so good on the other map. Interesting that they didn't go the same comp, right? But at the same time, you've practiced something in scrims for multiple weeks. So to swap it up in the match is really hard. But again, I'm looking at this lineup for the Rain, and I'm asking myself, hey, what's that Brig? What is she gonna do, you know? If the enemy team plays Tracer, I think Brig's a great pick here. Because armor kind of counters Tracer. But against this Fusion comp, it would better just have a Lucio or even a Zen, you know? Anyway, we continue. Rain walks out. They have their spam. The Fusion obviously get there first because they have the Lucio. Fury shift gets forced. That was actually pretty good from the Rain, right? To walk in there, to kill their shields, to force Fury shift. But again, it's really hard for them to get close, right? Like, what are they going to do? Like, if Masa gets close, he's going to get ran over. If Gator gets close, his Fortify is going to be forced out. Carpe's on Widow here. We all know how good and clutch Carpe is in these high-pressure moments. Gator again, shooting shield, doing a good job, right? Sato comes in. Wave Ryan, nice wall from Ivy actually. Also good stun from Masa, right? I guess this is why they're playing the Brig. To like help Gator peel. But I think Lucio's kind of just better at that. Anyway. Sato gets swings off. The Baptiste drone comes down too. And this Maywall really good here. Oh, Masa, is he gonna die? He does end up dying to Sato. So Sato gets supported really well by his team there. Yeah, and at that point, when Masa dies there and everything's so close and personal, then the Ryan really gets value, right? You already see how much ult percentage this Ryan had. That was also a nice pull, fire strike, hit combo at the end there. And Fusion has had this point the entire time. Because they got there first because they have the Lucio. Now Babyface swaps the Widow. Sure. If he can win the 1v1 against Carpe, that's a fine pick, right? But like it's not gonna help them kill the right shield. Baby insta dies. See how that happens. Oh, so he gets headshot by Ivy, and then Alarm finishes him off. So nice shots from them, really. Like, instantly, that headshot from Ivy was crazy. Hawk gets walled. He's probably gonna get out. Maybe not. Okay, nice pull from Gator. Saves him. Also, they used the Baptiste ult. Nice Baptiste ult there from Dogman. Also gets Funny Astro. This retake's looking kind of good for the Rain because Babyface is gonna come back. Gonna be able to like hook shot up right. Carpe, however, uses the sights. But it's gonna be very hard for Baby to take that duel now, right? And then again, Philly playing around their Orisa pool very, very well. They get the mailed on everybody from the rain. Baptiste kind of jumps out, but he's still going to get caught in the air by it. Oh, he actually gets the LOS. Nice, Dogman. But yeah, Gator's just going to die. Because it's so hard to walk in here, right? Because even if you poke the enemy shields away, they're just going to sit on this edge on point, and then you come close and they speed boost on you. So you can't play range on a point where there's so much cover. Otto ends up dying. Urster ends up using his ult. Nice ult from Urster. Gets Fury. Fury's gonna die. They actually don't end up killing Fury, but they kill Ivy instead. Otto's also dead. Rain looking pretty good here. Urster very clutch. Hawk too. And the Rain end up cleaning up. Baby actually kills Carpe, even though Carpe used sights early on in that fight. But nice job by him. And now the Rain finally have point, right? But looking at the ults, there's the Baptiste ult, there's the Orisa ult, and there's the Lucio ult here for Funny Astro. Well, on the Rain, you have both tank ults. So, a little bit of an ult advantage for Fusion just because they have that Baptiste ult. But overall, it's not unsurmountable, right? Hey, Lumax. Oh, I played against you today, I think. I'm washed. Don't judge me. How are you doing? Yeah, Baby Bay's over here. We are on map 5, round 3 of Range versus Philly here. Moya Prodigy. God here at the Moya. Oh, nice pull. Sigma ult actually from the Rain. Funny Astro still has beat though, and Alarm also has the drone. So probably smartest way to go here is using the drone. And then beat speeding after. But just using beat here is good too, right? Like just using that support ult. Especially because they're also Orisa ulting. It's fine. Sato is shielding the Orisa ult just so it doesn't die. It's probably going to die here to Hawk, but that was good. And then they pull Fire Strike. Again, this combo is so good. Urster actually doesn't end up blocking it this time. Let's see. Did they use the alarm ult with it too? So they pull Fire Strike, Baptiste ult. Urster tries to wall it, but it's really close actually. Like this distance is very close, so it's really hard to like reactively Mei wall it, right? He does get the Mei wall up, but he misses it, right? So if it was in front of his team here, he would have actually saved the day. Because this fight was looking pretty good for the Rain. If you look at these health bars on the Fusion, they're all mega low. And wall hacks is up, and they still have a Assault going. That was actually looking pretty good for the Rain. But pull Fire Strike combo comes out, right? Instantly kills Dogman, almost Masa, and Urster's 1 HP. A really nice combo there. And Urster just barely misses the wall. And after that, right, probably doesn't win that anymore. Urster actually kills Carpe. But yeah, that's like so close to walling that, right, and winning that fight. But it's a little off. But Rain are gonna get one last recontest. It's not gonna be too clean because they have 5%. They still have to get the point. Baby Bay's likely gonna have to touch. See how this works out for them. Hawk's actually gonna go and touch. That's good. Baby actually kills Alarm too. That's a great shot. Watch that. Oh, another clean shot. Wait, I played it too fast. Do we go .25 speed on this one? I like it when Widow players that are peeking people don't instantly like shoot, right? They don't instantly try to shoot. I like it when you kind of go on this off angle and you first line up your aim. So you're 100% sure it's a hit. Because if you miss that first shot, the enemy team is going to know where you are. And then they're not going to peek you anymore, right? They're just going to use cover. I'm going to play smart and even AD spam you. And it becomes way harder to hit the second shot. So you got to make sure you hit that first shot. And just lining it up like that, like Baby Ray did, is perfect. Gator, however, dies to Carpe. Only because the pressure, because he had to touch. We can watch that too real quick because this is the last fight in the game, right? Pretty exciting. Gator actually goes to 1 HP. Dies. So watch how he goes to 1 HP actually. He's over here. Gets the Sigma shield. The Sigma has to go and touch. Gator gets headshot by Carpe. Walks up more. And he gets headshot again. And then, too late, Dogman's drone comes out. Or I guess Dogman's drone wasn't even for Gator. It was for himself so he wouldn't get headshot by Carpe. That makes sense. Yeah, at this point, Masa's actually swapped over to Lucio. What's up? But just having to fight close range and not having the time to set up spam as a spam tank line is really rough because the enemy Ryan just does so much more than you. Yeah, even though Ursa gets another male, they're still going to lose this fight. Okay. Dab, sir. I think at the end of the day, Rain was actually cleaner in the mirror matchup of the Mei versus the Mei spam, right? But when it came down to like some of the comp choices, I think Philly was smarter and they like more stuck around the Mei, mostly because Ivy is a great Mei player. So is Erster, right? So I think the Rain's Tracer comp that they played early on in the match must have worked really well in scrims, especially paired with the Brig. I really don't like when they actually played the Brig with, let's say, Junkrat, because the armor just doesn't get enough value in my opinion, and having the Discord from the Zen does a lot more. But overall, I think the Rain actually played really well. Just made some wrong comp choices, and Philly was able to counter really well, right? They played that Torbjorn against the Tracer, were able to counter them very hard, made Edison swap to Mei, where Edison definitely doesn't want to swap to Mei because Urster's their Mei player, right? And that's what kind of won them those maps. And then when Urster came in and they were playing Mei, they actually did really well, but they were already 2 maps down. So it becomes really hard. And then even on Ilios Lighthouse, they still played Brigitte with the spam composition, which I'm not too big a fan of. But I also don't know all the reasoning, right? I think it's still like stun the Rhine off the Orisa when he gets close. But I just think the Brigade gets blown up. Also very hard for Masa to build his ult. Because whenever he shifts, right, and wants to get his passive up, he needs to get it past 2 shields, not just 1. Okay, so for the people watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.